Now that I have you standing here, I must confess my sin. I've always loved you, ever since the day we shared the same air. I've always loved you, ever since the day we shared the same air.
It's those nights when we were younger and we would never sleep. So let's forget about tomorrow and live for tonight while we're free. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. And our hands will touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. From the dust we will awaken, and life will fill our veins. But these are the moments that we live for. I can't keep it inside of me. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive.
hours here. I'm, of course, joined by Christian and Bo, and I'll get to you guys in just a second because we also have a ton of Twitch streamers here, top pros from around the world. We've got you guys. We've got the devs. I think we've got a perfect sort of formula to have an unbelievable kickoff to this 24 hours. Gentlemen, hello. How are you? How are things going today? I'm gonna start with Bo. Bo, CEO of Super Evil Megacorp. By the way, one of my favorite company names of all time.
We get that a lot.
I bet you do. How excited are you guys for not only this 2 hours that's about to come up, but what this represents?
Yeah, I mean it's really incredible. Should I take this? Sure. I mean it's really incredible to be here and to feel the energy in this room. I mean the players that are with us here today have been with us in some cases for 18 months as we went through the beta period of Vainglory.
Just make sure.
Okay. And so, this community has been just incredibly supportive, incredibly positive, and we're so excited to have them here today to witness the official launch of Vainglory. This is a game that's been in the making for a very long time. And, early on, it really wasn't obvious to us that you could build a great core gaming community, a great core gaming product on touchscreen devices. And the players that kind of believed that early on have been formed such an incredibly tight-knit community that it's been really incredible for us to be there. And so for us to be here today, to have players fly in literally from all over the world. We have the VGL guys are in from Germany. We've got Alvaro in from Spain. Stan Smith is in from Japan. It's actually, incredibly fantastic to be here, and we're honored to have them. These players have done so much already to help with the early growth of the game. Again, 18 months ago, we went into very, very quiet soft launch in Singapore, and over time we've been kind of turning it up in this kind of public pre-release. Now today, the game is available everywhere for players everywhere, and on all devices. Android's launching today as well, and it's just an incredible platform to be able to have these guys in here streaming on Twitch, where so many of them have already built incredible communities. Right. The game today, just last month, in the month of May, was played by 1.5 million players. Congratulations. 275,000 of those players watched the game also on Twitch. That's almost like 20% of our entire user base. Not only are dedicated enough to pick up the game and play it, but to spend, in some cases, hours and hours watching the game on Twitch, and that's been just a really great vote of confidence for us. It's one thing to build a game that core gamers get and want to download. Core gamers want to sit there and play for hours at a time. In fact, in any given day across all of our kind of players on any given day, they play on average about 80 minutes per day. 4 games on touchscreen, that's pretty mind-blowing, awesome. And really, again, kind of validates that this is a core game. This is really a real deep product. But for players to then spend hours and hours watching the game on Twitch has been an incredible honor. And so to be here celebrating that with these players who are creating this content, are the spectators or the streamers, is really incredible.
I mean, it truly is a celebration here, as you mentioned, like the core of the community. And that's always one of the things, as I would say, a casual player of Vainglory, knowing how good I've watched on Twitch too, and I am scared by how good some of these players are. But one of the things that I've always personally loved and respected about you guys and Vainglory and the company is the declaration of the game is what it is. It's not necessarily going to hold your hand. We're going to give you that core experience that we oftentimes are always chasing in other platforms, but now we have it. And you guys have, in my opinion, sort of like redefined what is possible on the touch devices. So congratulations. And to that point, I think this is a good thing to consider, because you also have always focused on the competitive aspect. And partially that's because I feel like the fire of Super Evil Megacorp and the people that work there. I came and played the game early at your offices. They showed no mercy. They kicked our asses. And that translated into the community who really picked up the game. So even from early on, you guys have always had this even grassroots approach to esports, which then led to you guys unveiling the the spectator mode. We did that at PAX East, and you guys blew our minds with the games that happened there. And now it sounds to me like you're going one step further. Can you talk a little bit about Vainglory as it relates to esports and where that growth is going?
Sure, yeah. And I was actually going to say that the fact that we are here today is actually an incredible tribute, not just to like the dev team and who've been working for 3 years in the game, but actually the players. Like we owe so much to the entire player community out there who've helped us make the game better all the way throughout. From every bug report to every balancing suggestion to every thought on how we can make the competitive scene for Vainglory better. In fact, we were not going to make our spectator client for another 6 months or so until we started seeing Vainglory League and other community organizations starting to screen 2 versus 2 tournaments where the third player was the spectator, and we were like, we can't have that. We've got to redo our roadmap. There's no way. So, and we then launched our first spectator client back then. But like you said, we are now hoping to take things one step further. So we're actually today announcing that we're working with OnGameNet, OGN, the Korean esports broadcaster, to actually develop a spectator mode which is desktop based for Vainglory and which allows you to have 8 independent cameras in the Halcyon Fold, which basically means that you can film Vainglory like you film a hockey match or a football match or a soccer match, where you have multiple cameras that move around from a free angle, if you like, for different free paths in the Halcyon Fold to zoom in on the action wherever it happens to be, or show a large scale picture of it. So I'm hoping we have a video that we can play on this to give you a sense of the kind of camera angles that we can achieve through the usage of this camera. Because ultimately, our dream is to create an experience which is as much fun to play as it is to watch, and being able to help esports bridge that gap from what it is right now, seeing that top-down player camera, to a thing that is really entertaining and engaging to watch, even if you're not a player. It's something we're really passionate about. Today is just the first step, and the first time this new 8-camera system will be used to record matches will actually be at the first international invitationals in Korea, in Seoul, in 2 weeks' time. But from then on, we will be rolling it out gradually to a broader and broader set of esports broadcasters. So we are very excited about that today.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to credit you guys because, I mean, there are so many games out there that actually have potential, but then the developers themselves don't necessarily see the potential. And I think spectator mode is one of those areas where oftentimes, you know, you can choose to go one way or the other. And so I hope I'm speaking on the behalf of the community. I'm sure I am, as they say, thank you, you know, for putting that effort into the tools that really the community needs to not only create those amazing tournaments, but also like great content around it. So, and I just want to make comment too, because Korea has traditionally been esports powerhouse. I've personally been involved with esports for years, and most of everything that we ever did here in North America was always based off of what was happening and the trends in Korea. So it was great. I got a chance to talk to Zakent a little bit about like just the camera aspect, and we both said this is traditionally like they have been, the Korean broadcasters, OGN specifically, has always done an amazing job of creating a cinematic experience as well. So I'm really excited to see the tools that you guys are building be put into play. But Bo, you have to be excited about that as well. Any thoughts from you?
Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's, you know, it came from the players, right? Spectation, you know, we, again, as Christian said, we wouldn't have done it this early if it hadn't been for the VGL guys kicking up and starting these tournaments. And we just have our player base to thank for everything that's happened to us already today. The Spectation, I think, should be a great treat for them to be able to watch matches that feel as exciting to watch as they feel to play.
Right.
I'm just really excited to see how that takes on. But really, at the end of the day, it's all of this, all the esports stuff. It's really in service. It's about giving our best players, our most dedicated players, a stage on which to be amazing and to be celebrated for how incredible they are and how great they are as personalities here on Twitch, and how just incredible they are as a part of the community. So we're really excited to be, you know, bringing that and everything really, and certainly, you know, the growth to date has been spectacular in some ways. You know, as a founder 3 years ago, this has eclipsed everything that, you know, anything that I could have hoped for. But to sit here kind of on the brink of this at the launch event and feel like it's still just the beginning, and there's still so much we want to do, so many more ways that we want to delight our players over time. We're really excited about where this can go. So fingers crossed, hopefully everything continues going as well as it is.
Oh, I'm sure it will. And, you know, speaking of some of the great players and influencers that have been playing and really getting involved with the Vainglory community, many people might be wondering, okay, this is great. Like Christian, Marcus, and Bo are pretty cool, but What are we going to like, when are we going to see the awesome action? Well, it's coming soon. Before we actually throw it over to our casters, I think we could give like a little preview of what we've got, because we're going to kick things off with a Twitch influencer 3 versus 3. We've got 6 Twitch broadcasters who've all been actively involved in broadcasting and competing in Vainglory. Then we're going to have the pro teams, of course. We're going to have some of the top pros from around the globe facing off against other pros from around the globe. When anytime you get the top players in a room, you're bound to have an amazing game. And then we're going to wrap it up where we're going to have some international talent be playing against your guys' developers. And before I throw it to the casters, like, thoughts? Should I be putting my money on the devs or the international?
I think the devs versus community record is 0-6. What? One.
You won one.
We won one in Europe. But yes, we've not been putting up great numbers against the pros. In fairness, our job is to make the game. They spend a lot more time practicing the craft of beating up on devs. So really...
But then we have taken it easy to date. So
Okay. All right. Well, then the gloves are off. You heard it here first. We expect a dev win today. And players, I hope that motivates you. So, all right, that's going to be happening over the course of the 2 hours. But then, of course, the action's not going to finish there. We're going to be kicking things off over to some other Twitch influencers and broadcasters in the Vainglory community. I think DZ Online is going to be taking things over. We'll give you more information about that. So get close, because we have some games to go to. And so to kick us off for our first game, Twitch versus Twitch, we've got 2 handsome nerds. They're Vainglory broadcasters. We've got Zaket and Playoff Beard.
Hey guys, I'm George Deacon and with me here is Playoff Beard, and today we've got some pretty exciting matches for you.
Yes, welcome again to this huge launch event. We have 3 games, as DJ Wheat was talking about. The first game really represents the casual queue that came in this latest update. We have Ms. Vixen, we have Calendel, and we have Koopa against Ezekiel III,
Oh yeah.
the Haley Baby, and Brizzle McFizzle, Best Hot Dog NA. And these are a combination of variety streamers. They're people who were playing other games who came over and are playing a ton of Vainglory now. They really represent kind of the diversity and the entertainment value of the Twitch community, but are also incredible players in their own right. I mean, Ms. Vixen, known for her Call of Duty play, there's a lot of talent, a lot of legit talent, even though they're also incredibly entertaining. So we'll be seeing that match come up in just a minute.
Oh yeah. So talking about this match, who do you think's gonna take this?
I have to, just based on the fact, Ms. Vixen not only reigning PJ Salt champ, but also the reigning PAX East Vainglory champion. You have to give credit to the champ. They have to take the title away from the champ. We know that she's an exceptionally good pedal player. I don't think in all the times I've seen her stream Vainglory, all the times I've played with her personally, I have never actually seen her have a negative KDA.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't mean she's won every game, but her personally, she never hurts her team, and I believe she's been playing a ton with Calendel, just prepping for the event. I think Koopa is a wild card. He's very popular and plays a lot, plays other games as well. So we'll have to see just how much kind of work he's put in on Vainglory. Ezekiel III, relatively new to the game. We all know how great he is at games and how fun he is to watch, but how fast he has picked up on the game, we'll see. And then the Haley Baby, a little bit of a similar situation where we've all seen her a number of times, but how far she's gone so far, what rank she's achieved in Vainglory, we'll have to see. Brizzle McFizzle, she has been a member of the guild scene for a while. She's been a member of the Vainglory team for a while. She definitely has carry potential on that side. So that'll be fun. It'll really represent the kind of casual side of Vainglory. And then the second match will represent the new ranked queue that we've introduced, which is all pro quality teams, the teams that were competing in the qualifiers for this Korea Invitational, the first Worlds that is happening in Seoul in a couple of weeks. So you'll really see a much bigger emphasis on vision, a much bigger emphasis on particular tactics and the way that they try to control objectives. You'll see between the 2 games, some real stark differences, but both should be incredibly entertaining and incredibly fun. And then the third match for me really represents our international player base. That is a chance to bring in 3 broadcasters from around the world to represent those international players, and then we get to step away from the desk and actually play in that match. I know for one that Stan Smith, I believe he's Vainglorious, representing Japan and all of East Asia, and might kick our butts, but it will certainly be fun to see what happens there. So
I'm a
some
little bit
really good
scared.
matches planned.
Oh yeah. So talking about this match, I don't know. In my opinion, I do think Miss Vixen and Calendel do have the synergy going. But before we start with this match, I think DJ Wheat's got some players ready to be interviewed.
All right.
I'm being pushed out by the 2 team captains. This is literally how intense it's going to be right here. Hi, captains. How are you? You are the captains for the first 2 teams that are going to be facing off here.
Right.
And I know that there's definitely a lot of competitive fire because you have a lot of competitive fire, and you have so much competitive fire.
Well, no, in order for there to be competitive fire, there has to be some competition.
Oh.
Really? Do we need to like go back to where I won the PJ Salt thing again?
Man.
Really?
There's history here. There is.
Yeah, there's history. He's still salty.
Just brushing that dirt off my shoulder right now.
All right, so let's focus a couple questions here, Miss Vixen. I've tuned in and I've seen you play Vainglory. I've seen you play with your fans, subs, etc. Tell me what you think about this match here and the team that you're up against.
Well, I'm excited because Calendel and I, we've practiced a lot together. We already play offline all the time together, so I'm excited for this. And they're newbies, so this should be okay. Maybe not you, but I know these 2 on the ends.
No, we got the secret hot dog carry going on.
Right.
Best hot dog NA.
That's right. Team Mongoose or Mongeese is going to whoop that ass.
Okay.
Or Team Ramrod, okay?
So, before I throw it back, Zeke, I give you an opportunity to respond. You've made it very clear that you're going to crush this team. Any words of wisdom or advice you want to give to your teammates before the match?
Yeah, to my team, I just want to say if they surrender, try and be gracious. Or excuse me, when they surrender, just try and be gracious. Don't be in their face. We want to be the bigger team, okay? When they surrender, let them have it. Let them surrender. It's okay.
All right. Any response to that?
You know what? You're gonna suck it.
Pretty much what I expected, ladies and gentlemen, and I want nothing more than to see who is going to come out on top, so let's shoot it back to our casters.
All right, welcome back, guys. And I think this is a pretty exciting match. I do think Ezekiel the Third, he's pretty new to the game still, but I do think his team has a pretty good fighting chance.
This is exactly what I would expect from these people already. A little bit of smack talk going. I hope they have some side bets going like we saw at PAX. We got caught ourselves in a little bit of trouble with the side bet that we made at PAX. We had a side bet with Shinkaigen where if his team won, then he got to take over the official dev stream, much like the event we have today. And the things that he did with that were unbelievable. So I don't know what kind of personal stakes they have online. We haven't made the same mistake here today.
Never.
But
Never
this
again.
match should be getting underway shortly, and we're certainly looking forward to that. When we're talking about this tier of play. I mean, Brizzle McFizzle to some degree may be an exception, and now Ms. Vixen and Calendel also getting more and more experience. But you see a much wider variety or different styles of hero comps at this ELO range than you will see at the
Next
kind
few
of
matches.
pro-competitive. So can you talk a little bit about what's popular and what you think we might see in this game versus what we might see in the next game?
I definitely know that Miss Vixen really likes playing pedal, so I definitely expect to see a pedal this match. And I know Ezekiel's been practicing a lot of cost trades and practicing a lot of saw, so I'm expecting to maybe see those, but I think it's going to be saw today.
And that's an interesting point. So that's kind of a case in point right there, where I can promise you I will make a bet, I will bet my beard that you will not see a saw in the second game, in the competitive match. He is a hero who, because of where mobility is in Vainglory right now, he has trouble staying with the fights, and therefore you tend to not see him in high-level play. So if we do see a saw in the first game, we won't see a Saw in the second game, but it represents how at different ELO brackets you have different opportunities for playing different hero comps and having fun, and we'll get to see some different skins, and will just be, will be a good time. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'm definitely expecting either a Petal or a Scarf out of Ms. Vixen. Those are the ones that I have seen most. I think Brizzle McFizzle is capable of playing any hero. She's capable of playing any role, whatever her team needs. I have seen Koopa mostly lane. So I would expect that we'll see him lane and probably see Vixen and Calendel out of the jungle together. And we'll have to see what happens on the other side. If it's going to be a Saw coming out of Ezekiel, if you do have some insider knowledge, I would certainly expect him to lane and not pull an Ubel Andre jungle assassin Saw, which is probably a little bit off meta and out of scope for a game like this.
Most definitely.
So we'll see what happens.
Yep, and we're going to kick things off right now.
Oh,
Players
good.
are on the
All right.
match, and this is going to be a great game.
Here we go. So the players are now picking, and we can switch over to the spectator cam.
Yep, and as expected, Miss Vixen does lock in that Petal. We have Koopa Troopa on Celeste and Calendel on Jungle Jewel. So I think Miss Vixen is going to go jungle with Calendel and allow Koopa to lane.
So the one thing that we're waiting to see right now is what Brizzle McFizzle does, and like I said, she's capable of doing pretty much anything. She hovered over the newest hero, Rona. Rona is a berserker. Rona wants to get into the middle of the enemy team, put on as much damage as possible, try to scramble that team. She's oscillating back and forth between Kashka and Rona. We'll have to see which way she goes. Those are going to be significantly different play styles. She does go Kashka, and hopefully we'll see some skins, with 1.6, with the latest update out. We are introducing some of these tier 3 skins for anyone who might be new to the game.
Ooh, the Savorg, Ezekiel's favorite.
For anyone who might be new to the game, in Vainglory, skins have 3 tiers. You can unlock the first tier using Ice, which is the paid currency, but from there you have to actually use cards, collect cards from playing matches or from our special boxes in the market, and use those cards, weave those cards into skins, and then play with those skins. So we do have a Bug Petal coming out of Miss Vixen. We have a Kilojewel 9000 skin. So a lot of skins in the mix here. Oh, there's the tier 3 Kashka. That's what I was hoping to see, along with Paragon Catherine. Those are both brand new, so it'll be fun to watch and see. Especially keep your eye on that tier 3 Kashka skin, the Candy Troll Kashka. All sorts of crazy effects. She almost has her own emote pack associated with it there. So we'll see what happens.
Most definitely. I have Ezekiel third in lane versus Koopa Troopa 787, and this is going to be a pretty tough match for both of them because I don't know if they've had much practice against, like Koopa Troopa, not so much practice against the Saw, and Ezekiel maybe not so much practice against the Celeste, and this could be a matchup that goes either way.
So just in case for anyone who doesn't know, Celeste is an artillery mage. She can lob those stars really far over the front lines of the enemy. Saw, that was a very bad sequence. It looked like Saw got in turret range, barely avoiding heliogenesis. So he got himself in some early trouble. He's going to miss a lot of CS, having to back there. So that's not the sequence that he was looking for. And what you to watch for in that lane matchup is Celeste is going to try to lob out those stars, is going to try to hit Saw, who, when he has the ability to attack faster, he moves slower, so he can get caught in situations where he can't dodge those stars. But if he can get spun up, he can pump out a lot of damage on a very squishy Celeste. So we'll just have to see who is better prepared and who executes better in this match.
Most definitely, and it really is up to Koopa Troopa to make sure he lands those core collapses, stuns. And if Ezekiel does not get caught in that stun, he can just do so much damage to Koopa Troopa that he's going to push him out of lane extremely easily.
All right, so we'll watch that as it goes. Akashka Catherine, this is a very classic combination in jungle. What do you expect out of them, and how should they synergize together to play well?
So Kasha and Catherine is very fantastic because you have the double stun coming out. If they do decide to go for a gank at level 6 or even earlier, I think that's a free kill for Ezekiel, especially since Koopa Troopa on that Celeste is fairly immobile.
All right, on the other side, there is Petal with the Bug Petal skin. Her Munions with those antennae. She's coming up to lane. She's going to look for a gank here. And there is the stun. Here are the Munions. They are smarter in the latest update, and they are just chomping him to bits. So some early trouble here. That was a good gank out of Petal. And again, it's just going to cost Ezekiel more farm. The farther he falls behind, the less gold he's going to have, the more trouble he's going to have keeping up with Celeste, who is farming quite successfully. Now, both teams coming up into lane to try to even the score, and they have to be careful not to spend too much time there because they're missing the jungle farm. You always be wanting to get gold, but what do you think is going to happen here?
I think not too much is going to happen. I don't think the blue team's going to go for a dive quite yet because the turret's pretty dangerous. 3 or 4 shots, and you're probably going to die. So even if the blue team wanted to go aggressive, they'd probably give a life up for it.
Ezekiel the third doing some one-handed push-ups there just to show that he's not afraid of the enemy team. We go back to jungle. This is a combination I've been looking forward to see. Brizzle McFizzle and the Haley Baby together in jungle. Haley Baby choosing to go support, choosing to go Catherine. One of the most dangerous stuns in the game, obviously, and her silence can really change team fights. She wants to be initiating all the time. She wants to be starting the fights. In terms of getting these fights started, we have Catherine as an initiator. What do you want to see on the other team? What do you want to see out of blue team?
So we have a few options for the blue team. Calendel, he does have that rocket leap. We have core collapse on Celeste. So either one of them landing a stun into a spontaneous combustion front pedal can completely decimate anyone on the red team right now.
All right. So starting off the match, both teams primarily focusing on just getting gold so that they can start to get items. Kashka, very item-hungry hero. And looks like this is interesting. So perhaps either Ms. Vixen is covering or perhaps a switch. I think she's just covering lane for Celeste. There comes a rocket leap, and Ezekiel got caught out, but an excellent shank, and he's able to bounce himself back out of danger. That was a smart decision, possibly the only option that would have got him away from those three members of the team.
Most definitely. That was a fantastic play by Ezekiel III. He knew that Joel was jumping out on him, and he immediately was ready to run forward, not backward. If he ran backward, he would have been stunned up and instantly killed.
So a nice sequence there for him. Here comes the suppressing fire. Now he's at full spin up stacks. So he could turn and fight. I would prefer to see him fight as opposed to run there, because he can really rip through those munions, but by trying to flee, he's going to be in a much worse situation, and he does go down there. So first kill goes to blue team, and this is where I think, you know, Ezekiel III, we know he's a very accomplished gamer, but he is new to the game, and these are the kinds of things that you would expect as someone is still kind of, you know, getting fully over that learning curve.
Most definitely. Not quite respecting the jump out Calendel. Calendel just ran on top of him, and he was just taken so low and then taken out by Heliogenesis by Celeste.
All right, so for anyone who happens to be brand new to Vainglory, let's see if there's a fight here. If it doesn't happen, so this is Vainglory, which is a completely free-to-play, free download. You can get it on Google Play now. Android support for 150 devices, more than 150 devices, and on the Apple App Store. There's always 6 heroes free in the free hero rotation, so you can really play as long and as much as you want. And what we have here for anyone joined us late is a core collapse into a rocket leap. There's the stuns for days, and they pick up another kill on Ezekiel III. That's what you want to see when you go in with this team comp.
Most definitely. Like, having that double stun on Koopa Troopa and Calendel is so dangerous for Asa, who is so immobile. If he doesn't have that roid round up, if he's busy casting suppressing fire, he is just stuck in place and he's a sitting duck.
And we were talking with Ezekiel III before this match started when he kind of surprised us, saying that he was thinking about going Saw. I've been watching him the past few days. He's been streaming Vainglory regularly and has been playing a lot of Kashka and has been doing it very successfully. Kashka, obviously an incredibly mobile hero, and I think he might be in a little bit of shock right now. There comes a Merciless Pursuit out on the pedal, but she immediately triggers her boots. She knows what she's doing. Ms. Vixen gets out of danger. So Ezekiel III was very comfortable on Kashka and the mobility associated with Kashka. I think he's now realizing that when you're running into, you know, some decent competition, that Saw, it can be very, very tricky. Saw is accessible from the standpoint that anyone can get it in play, anyone can trigger suppressing fire, get those 12 stacks of spin up, and be just firing shots off like crazy. It's a fun hero for any skill tier to play, but it is also a kind of deceptively tricky hero to play in competitive games.
Most definitely, and here we have both teams kind of popping a few scout traps, getting rid of that vision that the enemy team does have down. And right now, no one's on the gold mine yet. Oh, I totally missed that. That was my fault. Ezekiel III goes down again. Probably another game coming out by Calendel. So that's pretty rough for him. Every single time he gets caught by a core collapse, every single time he gets caught by a rocket leap, he's just done.
Okay, so we know what the situation is. We know this is, you know, not the start that Team Red's laner was particularly hoping for. Where now it's a contested gold mine fight. There's a big red button that comes out. We'll see if that helps secure, and if Brizzle McFizzle did all that for nothing. And she is able to escape. The Haley Baby now is the tank of the team, and so she will at least be able to last, triggering Merciless Pursuit. So at the very least, Haley Baby doing a very good job of forcing Team Blue to waste a lot of time. So they're probably going to get this kill, but it took them a long time to do so. That's time that they're not spending farming, not spending getting other gold. So, you know, a bit of a token victory there out of the length of time that it took. That contested gold mine fight, for anyone who's brand new, there are 3 jungle objectives that are very important. The gold mine, now that it's taken by blue team, miner will continue to mine gold, and if it's not taken back, it is a capture and hold point. If it's not taken back by the other team, it will periodically pay out when it gets full. Oh, Ezekiel the Third is way pushed up. He's done a ton of damage on this turret. An extra shank as he avoids a core collapse again. He's probably not going to get out of this, but he could shout worth. He didn't quite get the turret, but considering how far behind they were early, the fact that he was able to use Saw's incredible attack speed and almost decimate an entire turret when he caught Team Blue napping, that's a very good play. And we hear them in the background yelling back and forth. So a nice moment for Ezekiel the Third, even though they're down 5-0 in kills, able to get his team a little bit closer to back into this match by almost taking down that first turret.
Most definitely, and I do think the first turret's going to be very huge for them, even though it puts Saw in a pretty dangerous position, because Saw does not want to be pushed out too far in lane. Once his first turret went down, he's in a pretty bad spot, because he's not going to be able to push up. If he does, he has to watch out for Celeste, he has to watch out for Jewel, and once again...
Brizzle McFizzle comes out, there's a yummy catnip frenzy, locking down Miss Vixen, she's in trouble, Haley Baby follows up as well, but Miss Vixen once again, smartly saving her boots, there's a rocket leap coming out, and Saw is gonna get crushed into oblivion again, one machine to another. So Miss Vixen, a more experienced player, she knows to save those boots, to peel for herself, to help her get out of dangerous situations, and that looked like a sure kill, but very nicely played by her.
Most definitely. The stun's not coming out quite in sync for the red team. If it was a little bit closer, I do think they might have had that kill, but even then, Miss Vixen was pretty far away from the entire red team when she was engaged on.
But that was the first moment that we've seen. If we can have a yummy catnip frenzy, followed up by a merciless pursuit, followed up by Saw just ripping through some damage. Oh, big red button. Solar Storm just to add insult to injury.
That's what we call overkill.
This is a little bit nasty. Right here, Brizzle McFizzle in on Koopa. Nice kill on a Twirly Death. She triggers her boots to get out of range, just barely of that Thunderstrike, just barely staying alive. Haley Baby could turn here. Haley Baby triggers that Storm Guard, which is going to deflect damage back on Calendel, and he wisely doesn't get under turret. Otherwise, I think you would see a Merciless Pursuit come out.
Most definitely. Brizzle McFizzle, 2 kills for herself. No deaths yet, so she's doing pretty well. But Ezekiel is having a pretty rough time, 0-6-0.
All right, so a 7-2 lead so far. Goldmine controlled by blue, getting close to paying out again. What does red team have to do to get themselves back in this match?
So in this match, I really think they have to take back the minion mine, because they have to push out and try to force things in their favor. So they have to get the blue team to face check into some bushes. But if the blue team is smart, they're going to pick up some flares, and it's going to be a really tough time for a red team.
All right, so for anyone who might be new to the game, here comes a roadie run, probably out of range. He does get core collapse. He's going to lose his stacks here. He's going to get poked down, and that's what Celeste does best. Just lob out those stars, force you to take damage if you want to pursue, and a tough fight there. But those minion mines, when you take them, they immediately make the lane minions stronger and helps you push lane. So when you're wanting to push lane, you want to take those minion mines. They do then give extra gold to the enemy team, so when you kill those minions. So it is an interesting choice. Haley Baby and Brizzle McFizzle caught in a bit of an awkward spot here with the entire blue team behind them in their side. They're able to retreat. There's a rocket leap over the wall. Only pushes away. It didn't quite catch people in there. Calendel, at this point, feels very confident. Just pursuing. There's a Solar Storm as it just rips through Team Red. 2 members go down. There's a yummy catnip frenzy from Brizzle McFizzle, but that really ultimately is only locking herself in place against 3 blue team enemies. So not a great sequence there.
Most definitely. Ace Buff comes out for the blue side there, fully heal up after that, and right there, that was rough. The red team was split up. They had Ezekiel coming from base, they had Haley Baby and Brizzle McFizzle coming into the jungle, and it was just a bad situation for them. They were all caught out. Jewel landing, her rocket leap. We had Solar Storm coming out from Celeste, and it was just too much damage for the red team to handle.
So we first saw Ms. Vixen with Vainglory at PAX East. She's been playing consistently on stream since then, and you're seeing her experience come to bear here. He turns with a big red button after a rocket leap. Calendel is taking a ton of damage. Ezekiel the Third able to take out the Jewel, and now the pursuit on Koopa. Koshka can keep with anyone. Pouncy Fun into a Twirly Death secures a kill. She'll turn on Ms. Vixen here.
So this is exactly the fight that the red team was
that's
looking
interesting.
for.
Yeah, it really is. There's the Pouncy Fun. There's the Twirly Death. The Merciless Pursuit is going to be just out of range. That's a tough break. And the Storm Guard gets triggered. A Pouncy Fun, another Twirly Death. And this will be...
Oh my gosh.
For the
Not quite the
first
ace.
time. Do you want to pull up the scoreboard here for a second?
It's currently 11-5, and that was fantastic by the red team. They're in a pretty poor position right now, but with that fight, that's definitely bringing them back into the game.
All right, so first turret down. You see that when this Tier 3 Koshka uses her abilities that the emotes kind of pop out up above her head. Just really fun. Really enjoying this skin.
Most definitely, and with that fight, they brought the game back to a 4K difference, which is honestly still pretty big, but it's much better than what they were at earlier.
All right, so now red team, perhaps getting their first gold mine. They're going to need to hurry here. Can they secure it? They do. There is a suppressing fire on blue team, but once again, you know, stun's very difficult for Saw. He was caught out a little bit, but that's fine because it helped his team secure the gold mine. That was some very much needed gold for red team. They were able to get it. They did get it before it paid out again. Were they able to?
Oh yeah, they got approximately 160 gold each, so definitely worth it. Ezekiel III already died quite a few times, so he's not worth too much in terms of bounty.
Yeah,
so his team
that's a good
definitely came up ahead with that.
That's definitely a good point right there.
Alrighty, we have Koopa Troopa leading the charge. He's doing really well for himself. 6, 2, and 5 on that Celeste. Got his Shadow Glass, got his Eve of Harvest, so he's going to have pretty good sustain in fights. He has that reflex block to block the stun coming out from Haley Baby and Brizzle McFizzle. So I think he's actually in a pretty good spot to carry this game.
Calendel now, so there's a Yummy Catnip Frenzy. Calendel is stuck in place. Brizzle McFizzle doing some work. She could try to go over that wall with a Pouncy Fun. Meanwhile, that is Sawborg. He is going to eat some dirt again. Haley Baby caught trying to figure out where to go. Big red button comes out relatively blind. It didn't work out. Ms. Vixen now looking to flee. Brizzle eats a Thunder Strike, and she retreats. She is hit and run. She wants to get out and get back in, and she might have called off the Haley Baby here. They decided they didn't want that fight.
Most definitely. Brizzle McFizzle pretty low on energy, so she definitely didn't want to keep going with that. If she did, I do think it would have been a pretty good fight for the blue side.
All right, this is an important moment. So at the 15-minute mark, the Kraken eats the gold miner. This big dude, if you haven't seen Vainglory before, if you are able to capture him, he will rampage down the lane, helping you destroy turrets, helping you push, but he's very hard to kill, often requires the entire team to do so. And at this point, down in kills, down in gold, red team has to be very careful that they don't nap on Kraken. Blue team could burst Kraken down relatively fast, and that might be GG if that happens. So Ezekiel III wisely keeping an eye on the situation here. They do have it scout trapped, which is good, so they have vision on the Kraken pit. And here's the standoff, but this is rough for red because blue team wants this fight. Oh, this is a very bad decision right here. Starting the Kraken, who will get in on the action as well. Solar Storm mostly misses and deflects off of the Storm Guard, but with blue team, so you know, in the second match, you'll see flares used and other things to know if the enemy team is in their try. But blue team laying in wait, and as soon as red team started Kraken, it was here comes Brizzle McFizzle trying to steal it. They need this to get back into this match. They cannot afford to give up the Kraken. Yummy Catnip came in on the Kraken, but it still went to blue team despite that lockdown. So there is a big red button as well. This could be GG depending on how it plays out. They have the Kraken, they can push. They also probably get a kill as well. Is this the end, Zekent?
I think this is the end. I don't think Ezekiel has quite enough damage to take down that Kraken, and he's going in on Miss Vixen right now, but that's not going to do too much damage. He is a little bit behind. He gets stunned up by the core collapse. Kraken is just marching on through, and I don't think the red team has even close to enough damage to take her down before she finishes off the game.
And that's largely the story of the match, being able to core collapse Saw repeatedly, Solar Storm with a glancing blow. You know, and Ezekiel III will be back. He hasn't been caught with that core collapse when he's been playing Koshka, because he's obviously a much more mobile hero. If I know him, he will keep playing, he will challenge Ms. Vixen, and he will be back another day to get revenge. There is a spontaneous combustion coming out. Perhaps one last team fight, but Kraken is going to do this work. He doesn't care what anyone else does, or she rather. And this will likely be the end. Haley Baby holding on. An excellent... I'm really surprised. Koopa Troopa has done some wonderful work with Core Collapse. He was successful with that all game long. You know, it was one of my questions going in. You know, how advanced would he be in Vainglory? I think he really represented nicely. Played an excellent blue Celeste right there. GG, congratulations, Ms. Vixen, PG Salt champion. Vainglory Paxi's champion, and today
Still
on
a
the Big Launch
champion.
stream, still a champion. She is a winner.
She just
We
keeps
all knew
winning.
that.
Every single time I
Congratulations.
see her, she's just winning.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
congratulations, Koopa. Congratulations, Ms. Vixen. Congratulations, Calendel. Excellent job out of them. And like I said, I'm sure we will be seeing more of the Haley Baby, Ezekiel III, and Brizzle McFizzle in the future.
Most definitely. And looking at this match, like the item builds were pretty solid across the board. I would have liked to see a little bit more shield coming out of the red side, but I think overall they did okay. They were dodging around Jewel pretty well. Calendel was not able to land too many Thunder Strikes, and it was just not too bad for the red team until like Saw was getting caught out a few times, but still, Brizzle McFizzle did some serious work. 7-2-0 on that Koshka on the losing side. She made up basically like 90% of her team's kills.
Yeah, she is legit. I think she's actually a member of Arden as well, one of the guilds in Vainglory. And we also saw, just like you said, so there's a lot of blue in this match, a lot of blue on Red's team. So that building crystal power, it allows blue team to counter quite easily. Fountain has shielding in it. You see some shielding on Calendel as well. So they were able to counter that quite nicely. I think if this were to happen again, perhaps you would see a weapon saw with a serpent mask, something that creates a little bit more diversity on that side that's a little bit more difficult to counter.
Most definitely, most definitely. I would definitely like to see Ezekiel III try again. I do think if he was playing Koshka, this game would have gone a little bit better, but Brizzle definitely showed up. I would still, this game, I definitely give the MVP to Koopa Troopa. Holy cow, he did work. 10-4 and 6 on Celeste. I was definitely expecting him to do like okay.
Yeah.
But him carrying his team like this was totally unexpected.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic job out of him. You mentioned that about Ezekiel III. We don't know. He might take his Berserker sword. Maybe he'll behead one of the players in the second match and take that spot and have another shot at this. If not, I'm sure we'll see him again in the future.
Most definitely. And with that, it's time to see. So what we have for you is we have the winners.
What do we have for you?
What do we have? Tell me. Why don't you tell me?
You want me to?
What do we have?
All right. So I think a lot of our existing players out there know that we've had a contest ongoing. It's the Why I Play Vainglory contest on Twitter, where people make videos just describing in 30 seconds or less why they play Vainglory. People have been eagerly anticipating the results of this competition, which is awarding ice and all sorts of prizes to players. And now we are going to, on this stream, we're going to unveil the top 3. In addition to that, we'll put on the website. There are a bunch of specialty categories and honorable mentions. A lot more winners. There are a lot of winners of this contest.
Oh, yeah.
But the top 3 who get the kind of largest prizes, we're going to reveal on this stream. I think we have the third place finisher, and we can show it to you right now.
We play Vainglory because we love the lore and family competition. Do like a small little dance or something.
All right, and we're back. That was a pretty fast break, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's only a 30-second long video, and I think that one was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of cosplay going on there with some cardboard involved. We saw it Arden. That was a good time, and we'll be having the second place and the first place winners. I have seen these videos.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay tuned for the first place winner. This video is
It's amazing.
It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole nother level. So stay tuned for that. That will be fun. But coming up next is the kind of match that is right up your alley as a former MOBA pro. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect here.
So this is my favorite. We have a ton of really, really good players here with us. And I think we have a little bit of surprise for these players. It's going to be some really, really good teams. It's going to be some really, really good players. But, well, we'll let you guys see what the surprise is in just a bit.
Yeah, so the teams, they think that this is Fusion versus Gangstars.
Mm-hmm.
That might not be what DJ Weed has in store. Let's go find out.
All right, we're back. It's time for a second matchup, and I'm sure there's a lot of people wondering what these extra folks are doing. So first, let me introduce our captains for the day. We've got the Fuji, right? How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a wonderful time.
And you are the team captain of what team?
Fusion.
And tell me a little bit about Fusion and Vainglory.
Fusion is a recently formed team just a couple weeks ago. We actually entered in the VGL in a tournament, got knocked out by Gangstars on the first round, but went all the way back to the finals through the losers bracket. And it was fun. Like a couple of guys from different guilds, different like venues, we just fused together, if you will, and gave it a go.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here. We got Gabe Vizzle, right?
Yes, nice to meet you.
It's great to meet you. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Awesome. So tell me, what team are you a part of?
So this is a collaboration team, 2 members of Gangstars and Infamous Shinkaigen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're probably wondering like what all these people are doing up here, and you know that the people who make this game, Vainglory, what's their name again? What's their Super Evil Megacorp? Which means that they love to be super evil. And in some cases, maybe you would think that this is super evil, but for the spectators, they're going to think this is super awesome. Here's how this is going to work. You guys are not playing a 3 versus 3 against one another. You two are now captains and will choose from the entire pool of people who are available from behind you. And the only rule is you cannot choose your own teammates. Gabe, we've done a random draw, and you are going to be choosing who you want to have on your team first.
Let's see. I'll pick Pawn.
Okay, Pawn. So Pawn, you're headed over here, and Fuji.
I'll go with Xenotech.
Xenotech. So Xenotech, you are up. Gabe's, he's going to survey the talent up here. I should keep in mind, can everyone agree with even a nod or a cheer or clap? Everyone up here is an amazing Vainglory player, right? So any team that gets created is going to be awesome, right? All right, so who's your choice?
I'll pick Nivmit.
What? Who's that?
Nivmit.
Nivmit. You are going to complete the team, and we have one more player selection. This is a big choice. There's a lot of great players up here.
There's a ton of great players up here. I will do Dart, Ice Dragon.
All right, bring it up, Kevin. All right, everyone. If you didn't get selected, I hope that you'll at least cheer on one of these teams. We've got a nice a little melting pot, I think, of players here. So, all right, here we have our 3 teams, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to kick it over to the casters, who are going to break it down and try to figure out if they can figure out how this game is going to go.
So this is going to be pretty interesting. I honestly was not expecting him to not allow them to pick their own teammates. So that's a twist even for me.
Yeah, it's true, and where it went was very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
So Xenotech, let's give a little bit of background on each of these players who was chosen. So let's start with Xenotech. He is a member of Gangstars. That is the reigning North American champions. They are representing North America at the World's Invitational in Korea. He is a very experienced mobile player, came from a PC background, and has within the past, what would you say, 4 months or so, has picked up Vainglory and was literally the fastest rise to Vainglorious, which is our highest skill tier I have ever seen.
I think he got to like pinnacle of awesome in about 2 days, was it? That's crazy.
Yeah, so he joined Fuji, who most of our existing players know from Nemesis, which is a phenomenal guild, and then he has also done a number of collaborations as with Fusion, with Collab in these tournaments, these very important tournaments like the one that determined who goes to Korea. He is definitely one of the best players in the world. Yeah. Dardex Dragon, along with Nivmet, these are the two that I would have never predicted would be in this game, not because they're not good players, but because they're newer to the scene. So they are both members of Ardent, I believe, which absorbed a team called Horizon that performed magnificently in the qualifier for the Korea tournament, knocking out Nemesis not once but twice to eliminate them from the tournament.
Huge upset, huge upset.
Yeah, really, really big upset. So they kind of made their name, and also, you know, they're oftentimes on Shinkaigen's stream. They're members of the Shinkai gang, as it were. So the existing players really know these players, but I didn't expect them to be picked over some of the talent that was there, but the advantage is some chemistry.
Most definitely.
So we'll see. Oh no, so Shinkaigen, he was there, but then was ultimately not picked.
Yep.
Right? So it's not Nivmet Shinkaigen. So talk a little bit about some of the other players in the game.
So we also got Gabe Vizel in the game, who is a fantastic Taka player. Like, he is... I love watching him play Taka. He just has these amazing jukes. He pushed the stealth to huge... Like, it's amazing. It's like watching an art being created in front of your eyes.
So Taka, the slippery ninja, able to disappear, getting in and out of fights very fast. He is a member of that Gangstars threesome that is going to Korea. And Pon, the original, originally a member of a team called Legacy. So with Old School and Wrecked, the three of them, they didn't do a lot of competitive matches for a while. They were just all Vainglorious players who everyone knew these names were out there. And if you ran into one of them in a match, you were just like,
I'm done.
Flip the tablet. This is an unbelievable team. And then they started creeping into the competitive scene, taking it by storm. And so it's great that we'll get to see Pon in this match as well. They have a ban, one ban per team. We'll try to get word as to which players were banned. We'll find out.
We'll find out later.
As we go, talk a little bit about what you're seeing locked in and what the comps might mean.
In any case, we have Gabe with the locking in a Dajo. We got Cruel with Nivmet, Pon the original taking Koshka. And on the other side, Fuji on Ringo, Koshka with Xenotech, and Dart Ice Dragon on a Dajo. So pretty similar team comps coming out here. And, oh, that tier 3 Ringo skin is beautiful. I love it. Oh, the Adagio one too, amazing.
All right, so we have an Adagio. I believe that's an Adagio 1 and an Adagio 3. So the 3-tiered skin system, you'll see it in this match come to Forza. It's Gabe Vizel on the tier 3 Dark Parade Adagio. That'll be fun. It's got some really fun effects in addition to the significant model changes. But everyone's eyes will be on Fuji with that Shogun Ringo skin. He has a molten arm, his only remaining arm, as it were. And as he uses Twirling Silver, you'll see the flames whip around. Really fun to watch. But much more importantly, what do you expect out of the beginning of this match?
So this is actually pretty interesting. We have both the Koshkas in lane. You generally see Ringo in lane, but Ringo has actually become a very popular jungle pick with the new supports, with the new meta in 1.6.
And talk a little bit about that, why that works, and whether you expect to see a rotation, whether Koshka, once she reaches 6, if she would rotate down, let Ringo take over lane, or whether you think this is going to be it for the duration.
I definitely don't expect Ringo to take over lane eventually. The thing about Koshka is she wants to hit level 6. She wants to get Aftershock, so she needs a good amount of gold early on. But once she gets to that point, she's free to roam the jungle. She's free to let Ringo get the rest of the farm to be the hard carry for the late game.
And this is two exceptionally good players, and we'll just see who's the better Koshka. I mean, there's nothing more to it than that. They are laning against each other. The first big difference that you see in these high-tier plays is that you see a lot more melee in lane. We have a fight breaking out by the jungle pit. Dart is going to get caught here as well. Gabe Vizel and Nivmet in pursuit. Xenotech is way too low to help, so normally he would pounce in there and keep his teammate alive, but he couldn't risk dying himself and giving up an early ace. So Gabe Vizel, Nivmet, Pon the original, that is the start they were looking for.
Most definitely. And a little bit unfortunate that Gabe Vizel picked up both those kills since he is going more of that supporting route with the Iron Guard contract. But Nivmet and Gabe, they set up such a good bait in that bush. They knew that the red team wanted to go play out the jungle and then come shop. So what they do, they wait in the shop bush, and as soon as they come, instantly killed.
All right, so in this game, you're going to see more vision control. You're going to see a lot more scout traps out. You're going to see more flare use. You might see a minion candy used on the gold miner, which is something that you wouldn't see possibly in the prior match. And then, of course, 2 melee characters in lane. This is a higher skill thing to try to pull off, and it's something that both these players can do quite well. And both starting with Book of Eulogies, which even though they're going to go crystal, these are the items that kind of pave the way for playing lane as Akashka.
Most definitely. I'm finding the original game pretty low here. He might get poked on my Fuji, so this is a little bit dangerous for him. If he pokes his head out, he might actually go down.
Looking for the Achilles shot. There it is. Following up with Twirling Silver. Gets a couple of shots in. Xenotech there as well, making sure not to miss the lane farm as this goes. All 3 members of Team Red, Team Fuji, are here. And now, so Blue Team wisely has rotated behind them, is on the other side, and will this be a fight? Gavizzle's trying to recall, so this is tricky. They are way out of position here. Xenotech comes in with a Pouncy Fun. Fuji is poking from a distance. Blue Team just trying to get out. They don't want this fight. There's a slow that comes down. Nivmet turns, though. I don't think that's what Gavizzle was expecting. And this is where I'm a little bit surprised. So again, Gavizzle, choosing to go with Nivmet on this team. I don't know that they've ever played together before. I don't know that they have any experience. And there were other members of Gangstars. There were other members of very well-established guilds that Gavizzle knows very well, with players that he's played with and against a lot more than Nivmet. So possibly not on the same page there.
Most definitely. And Nivmet right there, it was kind of an odd decision. So my thought is he thought he was going to die, so he tried to delay the red team as much as possible to let his team get away. And right there, Xenotech goes down in the Koshka versus Koshka duel. The level 4 on the original, just slightly stronger than the level 3 on Xenotech. However, Fuji comes in, cleans it up, and he'll be totally fine.
Smartly there, compensating for the original fight. But what we're seeing early is Pan has had the leg up against Xenotech, both on those Koshkas. So if it were you, and you're assessing that at this point, and there have been a couple of trades where Pan's Koshka has come out on top, do you make any adjustments? Do you pull a switch? Do you switch up your item build? What would you do when you're realizing, maybe I'm not going to win these trades in lane?
I think right now it's not too bad, because Xenotech just needs to hit 6. If he hits 6, he can just pull Fuji and Dart up to his lane and just do ganks over and over. And right there, Xenotech goes down again. I was not even expecting that. Was so quick. He basically came back lane, instantly died, and I don't know, Xenotech, he might just not be playing well right now.
Yeah, so the issue, of course, if one Koshka gets fed, she's a very item-hungry character. If she can get ahead on items, it is going to be very, very dangerous for red side. Pawn starting out with kind of the Tanksha of, earlier updates, was the meta before. We'll have to see how much it's still the meta, but a little bit surprising that he's only just now starting a Crystal Bit.
Most definitely. Upon the original, that Kangi build, pretty effective right now because Fuji is going to be doing a lot of damage with what looks to be a tension bow.
Dart,
right there,
he gets the slow off with the heal. Gavizzle forced to retreat. Pawn goes in. There's a Pouncy Fun into a Twirly Death. Now it's Dart. He's looking to put out some damage. He gets caught on a Scout Trap, though. Meanwhile, Xenotech is in between 2 members of Blue Team. This is not going to work out for him. He just wants to get a kill before he dies, but he can't. And that is another good trade for Blue side.
Definitely much more aggressive plays coming out this game than the previous. And right there, Xenotech in a little bit too far. He's pretty far back right now. He's 18 CS to Pawn's 38. And he's 1-3-1, so he has to play a lot safer in these fights. I think it might be a good time for red team to let Fuji lane and Xenotech take the jungle.
All right, so this is kind of the result, I think, of, in addition to the super evil twist, we had the DJ Wheat twist, right?
Indeed.
So, and Xenotech likely didn't expect to play today. Certainly hasn't played with these players before, probably at all. And I think as the match goes on, the chemistry will grow, but we'll see if it's too late.
Most definitely. High-level teams really good at snowballing the game in their favor. And right here, Xenotech might not want to jump out. He should be sitting next to his tower and farming as much as he can. He should not be poking his head out at all, else he just risks dying again.
All right. Xenotech trying to get some farm, but Pawn goes in and he was able to chunk his health once again. Pawn sitting on a fountain now, which will help him heal up. The lower his health is, the more effective that would be. Gavizzle getting caught now. Here comes the Hellfire Brew. You see that very early at high elo play. forcing the reflex block to come out before the fight even starts. There is a Kroll sword that misses. That's the guitar on this death metal Kroll skin. And now, so that was exactly what Fuji wanted to start the fight. He wanted to force the reflex block to come out early, and there's the Pouncy Fun into the twirly death, but it's not enough. The other Yummy Catnip Frenzy is able to peel. Fuji now is doing some work. He's going to try to pick up 2 kills before he dies, but he's able to drop as he got Krolled as the health bars went in opposite directions, and that was another good fight for Blue.
Oh! I was really hoping this Scout Shot would kill Gabe Vizzle there. It would have been really, really funny. But Gabe Vizzle, fantastic play there. The bait that he came out with was just perfect. He was sitting at a sliver of health, but just not dying.
And we talk a little bit about what it takes to play Adagio well. He's much more viable in this latest update, but is a very challenging hero to play effectively. But once you kind of, get a lot of experience with him or playing him really well, very, very dangerous. Talk about what it takes to play at his level.
Most definitely. Playing Adagio is really, really tricky because you basically play on a Knight's Edge. Even though he's not an assassin, he plays support as if he were he's constantly doing things. So casting his gift of fire, making sure his allies are healed, making sure he's healed, making sure that he casts everything at just the right time. Also, it's just not very effective.
Yeah, so we've seen, I have attempted it when the Tier 3 Adagio skin came out. I tried to play him, you tried to play him. It didn't go nearly as well for us as it is going for Pawn in this match. And now we'll see, with Blue Team in control of Goldmine, what kind of fights we see around here. Stopping at the jungle shop, so if you're not familiar with this game before, you can shop right out of the middle of the map. You don't have to recall the base. They bought a minion candy and used it to buff the gold miner. This is something we talked about earlier that you see at high elo play. It just helps it helps buff that miner, helps him fight more effectively for your side, makes it difficult for the other team to recapture that, and if you can't recapture the gold mine, you can't get the gold back. Ooh. There's a nice Kroll sword, a Hellraiser comes out. Here is the Verse of Judgment, and it does some damage. Pawn the original is in on Fuji, but he's kiting effectively, creating distance, and Pawn wisely thinks better of the fight, but now he has help from Nivmet. They're in pursuit. What will Fuji do? He might try to shop as he runs by. That's something you can do in really high elo play. He turns, he's going to try to get a kill out before he dies, but there's a Spectral Smite that takes him out, and it's 9-3 for Blue.
Yep, and in that fight, Gabe Vizzle was not able to cast his Burst of Judgment. He did the same thing as the last fight. He baited out everything that the red team had, but this time he got caught by the very edge of Dark Ice's...
Kroll comes in with a Dead Man's Rush. He's in on Dark. He's going to try to get a Spectral Smite. Here comes Xenotech to help. Nivmet is forced to turn around and retreat. He's also on fire.
Most definitely, and right now, what the red team really needs to do is slowly poke the blue team down, because they're completely relying on that sustained damage of Ringo over the burst damage of Kroll and Koshka. And right now, it's just not paying off for them. Fuji's dropping very quickly in fights. Xenotech is basically useless at this point because he's not quite tanky enough, he doesn't have enough damage, and Dark Ice is doing what he can, but it's just not enough at this point.
So Goldmine getting ready to pay out. This is why both teams are stalking the Goldmine area. Red is likely not going to fight this. Instead, if they can push lane, if they can do a little bit of damage on the turret, they will. But, at this level of play, it's very unlikely that they can take the Goldmine unless they can catch them napping. You see the flare come out. I don't think they were seen, but Blue does have a number of scout traps that will provide the vision necessary to keep control of the Gold Miner. Here comes a Hellfire Brew. Oh, no. There's no, that was just a... I'm just not used to that new twirly death effect, or excuse me, that new twirling silver effect. It's so cool looking. I'm used to only seeing an effect that cool when Hellfire Brew is starting.
So this is a really smart play by the red team. They know that blue team is camping right there because they saw them walk down through the jungle. And red team takes the right choice of action. They loop around. Even though their turret takes a lot of damage, they do not die.
There's the Hellfire Brew for real. Once again, he's using that so early because he wants to bait out the reflex block. Here's a Yummy Catnip Frenzy. They come in hard on Fuji. The Verse of Judgment is going to catch some people, and a stun on Xenotech. Will he be able to get out of this? He retreats behind, he tries to help Fuji, but he just ends up dying as well. Dart is able to pick up one kill. Nivmet is in pursuit. He is going to Spectral Smite any second now, and he drops the hammer, and that heals his life up enough to also survive the turret damage. So excellently played by Nivmet there. Gabe Vizzle and Nivmet, they've had a pretty good time together.
Most definitely, and Gabe Vizzle coming out with a really, really clutch Crucible right there. If the Verse of Judgment from Dark Ice went off and stunned the entirety of the blue team, that fight would have gone completely differently.
If you told me before this stream started that I would be seeing a fusion of Gangstars and Ardent or Gangstars and Horizon today, I would have not believed you, but that's what we're seeing now. And Fuji, who is definitely one of the best players in the world, he's got to be thinking, what can we do differently here? He's probably starting to you know, shout out some orders to his teammates, often calls for rotations and the like. We'll have to see if he can, you know, kind of cerebrally find a way out of this scenario.
By the dice, Dragon's getting caught a little bit. Fuji is coming down. However, I think the red team will be able to make the retreat, but Pawn the Original is hot in the chase.
So nobody knows better than you. If you were in the situation with red team, what would you be focused on to try to get back in this match? At least if there is a silver lining, you know, you don't have a lot of turrets down.
It's going to be pretty rough because blue side does have Cruel, and Cruel is fantastic in the late game at shutting down those parries. However, what the red team has to do right now is basically peel incredibly well for Fuji, let him farm up, stall the game out. If they keep taking fights right now, they're just going to keep losing them, and the game's going to snowball more and more against them.
Yeah, red team wants to get to level 12.
Most definitely.
They want to wait it out and then start fighting when at least on a level basis it's an even playing field, because we have an 11, a 10, and an 8 on blue side, a 10, an 8, and an 8 on red. So just that alone, if a Krull runs into a Kashka, that trade might go Kashka's way, but with an 11 to 8 level advantage, it is not going to work out for Xenotech right now. They got to stall the game.
Most definitely. And right now, you can see how big of a lead the blue team has. They are up about 4,000 gold, but look at the CS difference. 91 on Pawn, 57 on Xenotech. And though Fuji is up against Nivmet, the carry right now of Ringo is just not enough to output enough damage.
So really quick on these builds, what stands out to you?
I'm personally liking the tension bow on Fuji. He knew his team was falling behind early on. He's trying to, you know, bump his team up to a point where
Game Dizzle comes right into the middle. There's the Yummy Counter Frenzy on Xenotech. The damage is going to come out from the Burst of Judgment. Fuji trying to great distance. He triggers a reflex block, but he's going to go down as well. And Blue just having their way now. These are the fights that they want, the way that they want them. Dart is going to be the next to drop, and that is an ace.
Maybe? Yeah.
Thank you for the Spectral Smite to complete the call and a turret.
Most definitely. His turret's probably going to drop very, very quickly because there's no one to defend it. And right now, even though the minion line is not even close, the blue team doesn't care. There's no one up on the red side. They know that they're safe. They're just going to take a turret one after the other. And right now, the red team is put even deeper into a hole. And what they need to do is really sit back and farm their way back into this game. If they keep taking these fights, as I said earlier, they're just going to keep losing them.
What would you build in red's position right now? So if you take what you're saying to heart, and they're going to try to stall it out, are you building more damage, or are you building more defensively?
First of all, they need some Crucibles. A big part of these fights is that Pawn the Original gets on Fuji every single time. Nothing is stopping him, and even though Fuji does have a reflex block, it's usually not enough because Nivek just follows up with the From Hell's Heart, and he's just stunned up again.
So you'd like to see that coming out of the Kashka or the Adagio for that team-wide reflex block in addition to the reflex block Fuji has.
Most definitely.
Or at least him building one himself.
Most definitely. And right now, the red team, they should not be taking any fights whatsoever. They need to sit back. If the blue team comes at them, they run every single time.
So I think the danger right now at this level of play, the moment the clock gets to 15 minutes, red team is at risk of blue team bursting down Kraken. So they know that Kraken is about to spawn. They are right now, these are the mind games that are being played right now. That's why they're stalking the enemy side try, because they know that Kraken is going to pop, and they know there's not a lot red can do about it. And then it becomes the decision, will red risk another ace in order to try to steal a Kraken? Otherwise it's going to be GG. They're going to probably wisely give up this Kraken, try to just collect the gold from the Kraken, or they're going to try to fight now at the edge of the Kraken.
This is a mistake.
I think it was just a badly timed engagement. This was kind of the worst of all worlds, really, for them as Nivmet starts to crawl Fuji. That is one kill on Xenotech, so they kind of ended up, after probably making the right decision early, Yummy Cat and a Frenzy and the Scout Trek. Here comes Adagio, and this is just a foregone conclusion, but it seemed like they were wisely making the decision not to contest Kraken, then at the last second seemed to change their mind. And when they got out past the try, I guess they didn't have any flares to fire, they realized it was too late, and then got caught kind of neither here nor there, ended up getting killed, and this might be the end.
Most definitely. I think the right choice there was to definitely let the Kraken get taken and try bursting it down on their end to take the 500 gold away from them. But trying to contest the Kraken when you have no vision, and you know the enemy is the stronger in team fights, it's just a huge mistake.
Xenotech doing everything he can here without dying, but Kraken, she is just going to pound on these turrets as the teams fight. That this is the decision. This is why you take Kraken in the first place, forcing the team to decide, do we want to fight the enemy heroes or do we want to fight the Kraken? So even though they're trading decently with blue here, they're not trading well with Kraken, and that's GG.
That is GG. Bane has been shattered. The blue team is mostly dead. Let's see if Nivek can finish off one more kill.
That's a little bit rude when you're the winner.
Aww.
Trying to get one more. So, a good match there. You know, some interesting team combinations, some players that probably did not expect to play together today. Any final thoughts on the build or the match?
I actually really like the way the blue team played. They got a little bit of an early lead against the enemy Koshka in lane, and they just kept pushing it, Every single time that Xenotech walked into lane, they had more people there, or he just got 1v1 by Pon's Koshka.
So in the latest update, Fountain of Renewal, it got a nerf, but we still see team-wide Fountain of Renewals out of blue. Was that a good decision here, and why would they choose to do that?
I actually think it was a good decision here. The red team just did not have enough damage to basically burst the healing coming in from the fountain. And every single time they popped the fountain, the red team should have retreated. They kept taking these like kind of odd fights, and they did build the fountains fairly late. So it wasn't a poor build choice. It was more of a, we're ahead. Let's just get more ahead.
All right, so 19-6 is the final. Blue team, congratulations to Captain Gabe Vizzle. A bit of a precursor. He is one of the players who will be going to represent North America and Korea. There are teams from all around the world who are participating, teams from China, from Japan, from Korea, from Europe. Of course, Team Unknown with an amazing performance will be representing Europe. Southeast Asia with their very interesting meta will be representing as well. So a fun match to watch, and congratulations to Team Gabe Vizzle.
Most definitely. Congratulations to his team. Pretty well played by Fuji and his friends, but it just wasn't quite enough.
All right, so we just watched the action. Let's find out from DJ Wheat what the players thought of this and what they thought of not just the Super Evil twist, but the DJ Wheat twist.
We are back, and the Pro versus Pro, well, the Pro versus Pro mix-up, let's say, is now over. Congratulations, Gabe Vizzle. You took your team to victory. I know it wasn't exactly the match that you came here prepared to play, but how do you feel like you guys did?
No, we did really well. We had Koshka really fed and Cruel really fed too, and we were able to get some picks, and that really turned the battle and helped.
You did great. And over here, Fuji, I know that we threw, and actually it was all Super Evil Megacorp, I promise. Please don't get mad at me. But yeah, so what'd you think of the match overall?
I mean, the game was really fun. It was, even though like we were definitely down, they took advantage of every little mistake and took the victory. So congrats to them for that.
Awesome. So we have a little bit of time, and of course, I've been involved with esports for a long time. I love to see new competitive games like pop up and communities really like take hold of them and get passionate about it. So I'd love to hear from both of you. And Gabe, I'll start with you. But like, why do you love Vainglory? Like, what is? Tell me about the competitive relationship you have with this game.
Well, I mean, the game in general is just the community is like really loving. So everyone is like more friends. So it's not like in a like we'll talk about like NBA or something like that. You'll have like rival teams. They'll be like, oh, I don't really like you. But it's just like even if we have like our rivals, we're still like really like good friends with them. And it's just the competitiveness is like it drives us. It's like it's something to do. It's like really fun. So I mean that's why I play Vainglory.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. Fuji, what do you think? What's your connection with the game?
I do think the community was the biggest pull in the beginning because I had downloaded this originally as a casual MOBA. I've played League of Legends for many years, and this was supposed to just be like the couch game you burn a couple of minutes on, but like they did such an amazing job at the engine and the touch and the feel of the game that it really felt like the same kind of strategy needed in a like League of Legends or Dota style can happen here, and I got hooked. And then the competitive side of it came from the community. Like everyone started hosting tournaments, and I was just seeing this community help this company grow, and I just became so attracted to the entire like picture. So from everything from the gameplay to just getting to speak with devs, like it's just such a healthy environment, and I think it'll push them forward. That's the main reason why I play. So.
Awesome. I mean, well, everyone here is obviously having a great time, and I asked you guys earlier. I have a few other questions for you guys, and then we'll wrap. I'll let you guys go because I know you want to go hang out with everyone. And I do want to say, like, I've also noticed the community's like really great. All the Twitch streamers I've watched, it seems like everyone's interactions here, and that's really great to see. You mentioned a little bit about how you were impressed by Super Evil Megacorp putting out a game and supporting that community, and the community getting support back. And they just announced that they're having the new spectator mode, which will undoubtedly help the competitive community even more. Yeah, so I wanted to hear your thoughts a little bit on that.
On the spectating? Yeah. Well, spectating, it helps in general. It shows everyone like what's going on, and the spectating is like it just shows what everything's going on. So you can see like different standpoints. Like you'll see what the other team is doing, like how their play style is compared to another team, and it just shows like different diversity, and it just shows like how they
it reinforces the competitive community because you get to actually review how a team plays and learn from it, right? Like that's one of the things. What's your thoughts on Super Evil Megacorp sort of supporting you guys with stuff like the spectator mode?
I think it's amazing. Like, they heeded the call of the players to even implement a spectator mode to begin with when it wasn't even on the books for such a long time. And, when you watch other games, the competitive community, the people that are actually generally playing and being spectated for tournaments is very small. And you have such a large, like, casual base of players. It gives everyone, competitive or not, an opportunity just to watch something, to learn something, to see a strategy they've never quite seen before, and it always immediately goes straight into the game. So you can go in and watch teams playing, and now these things they just saw in a tournament or on stream are now being implemented and played, and spectator just gives you that bird's eye view that people love to see.
Right. Great. All right, one more thing, because we heard about it today. But Super Evil Megacorp talked about the OGN and what's happening in Korea. Are you guys excited? What do you think this is going to do for the competitive community of Vainglory?
Oh, it's just the start of it too, and it's going to be a really good experience. Very exciting to go to it, and yeah, I believe that this is going to be first of many Vainglory tournaments in the world, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, it's extremely exciting. Actually, it's less than 12 months since their launch, and there's already a World Invitational in Seoul, Korea. Like, that's insane. It doesn't just show, obviously, that the community is really passionate about making the game successful. It shows a lot of trust from organizations across the world that they see Super Evil Megacorp has come up with something different, but something that has a lot of promise. And I think this is just that entry stage into seeing what else will come from it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for playing. These folks will be around during the whole 24-hour celebration, so I hope you will be too. We're going to shoot it back over to our casters to pick us up on what we've got next.
Hey there, and a great point there at the end by Fuji. It has been less than 12 months since we put out kind of those earliest beta feelers with our favorite players in Singapore and Philippines, and kind of look at us today, introducing soon 8 different camera angles for spectator, for cinematic views, as well as I think it's going to be really important for, competitive teams being able to review game film, and just something much more dynamic and interesting for the viewing audience than kind of the top-down view that you typically see from MOBAs. I can't wait to see a game like Fusion versus Gangstars or Gangstars versus Unknown live in Korea, where instead of just that top-down cam, we have all these camera angles like you would expect to see on ESPN. Something like that should be, a lot of fun and really interesting. So for us, we have to switch gears a little bit here.
Oh, yeah.
We have to get our game faces on.
Are you
because
ready?
We are representing Super Evil along with Surprise Birthday, our head of product. And we are going to take on the international players. We're going to take on Stan Smith from Japan, the Alvaro from Spain, and Don John from Germany. Really, these players representing East Asia and Europe.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what we can, and that also means we'll be stepping away from the caster desk and welcoming in 2 very colorful, very fun personalities in Monster D-Face and Asar. It's going to be different than how we've been casting, but I think you're going to love it. And also, for the parents out there, maybe the earmuffs, because we might see some language in this as well. But it should be a lot of fun. And so as we kind of segue into the other room and try not to embarrass ourselves against some very, very stiff international competition, we're going to show you the number 2 video in the Why I Play Vainglory contest. Let's take a look now.
I like to play Vainglory because it's fun, but I love playing Vainglory when it's with my friends. Check this out. This is what I look like when I'm playing alone. And this is what I look like when I'm playing with my friends.
Oh, no, we gotta run. Die. Oh, don't take our money!
I'm Grim Latifah, I'm from the Hot Mess VG, and this is how we like to play Vainglory. Make the ground shake.
All right, guys, what's going on, man? We're here live with Vainglory at the Twitch headquarters. My name is Monster D-Face. Good to see you guys all tuned in the chat room.
You got the Lord, the Sar.
And we got a Sar here with
Peace
us,
and
exactly.
blessings.
And right now we got a special game coming up. International players from around the world, man. We have Alvaro, 845 representing Spain.
Don John the Sauce.
Don John himself from Vainglory League coming up in, and Stan Smith representing Japan versus the one and only Z Kent, surprise birthday and playoff beard from the dev squad themselves. It's going to be a great game. These guys are going to face off, and we should see some really good gameplay here.
It's all blessings.
And coming up next as well. Right after the game, we're going to have Marcus taking over. Okay, so we're going to have Marcus coming in right now with an interview with a couple of players before we head off. So here it goes, Marcus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of folks have been waiting for it. I think mostly the folks on this table, but we'll find out in just a second. We have got the international talent taking on the devs. And now, from what I heard, actually out of these folks' mouths themselves, is that their record isn't so great against some of the other teams. So
we weren't on that trip.
Okay. All right. That's why we do this, so the truth can come out. We have got Kent, we've got Playoff Beard, and we've also got Surprise Birthday. And Surprise Birthday, I want to hear from you. We've been hearing from these guys all day. I want to hear from you. They said they haven't been on the trips. You've played in a couple of these games. You're about to go up against the international talent. Here's a game that you guys have worked so hard on, played so much. Yeah, get the shoulders ready. How do you feel about this game that you're about to play?
Well, quite frankly, I'm having trouble deciding between whether I should try hard or troll right now.
Okay. They say go troll. Okay.
I'm just saying, it'll be really funny.
I have a serious question at least. There is an amazing amount of talent here just in this building right now of Vainglory players. I've had a chance to play against some of your employees, and needless to say, it wasn't pretty. So, I mean, we've got great guys, but like, how does it feel to you to be able to play and showcase your expertise in the game against people who have been playing so much Vainglory and are playing at a top level, like from game creator to, sort of that competitive scene? Is that pretty cool to you?
It's amazing. Actually, the favorite part about my work is exploring like the new metas that the community comes up with. There's so many good players outside of the walls of Super Evil Megacorp. And like every day I wake up and I see like some new meta that's happening that I did not predict. Sometimes kind of OP, but it's really, really cool to see how clever the community can get.
So now's the time for the smack talk question. Do you have? I'm gonna ask them plenty of questions, but do you have any words? Before I go over to there.
Yeah, you're gonna die by Weapon Celeste.
Do not do it.
Wow.
Do it. I support you 100%.
Don John Avero and Stan Smith, hello, representing the international players from across the globe. Welcome to all of you. I'll just kick it right off. Do you think you're gonna destroy these guys?
Easy game, easy life. Yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm feeling comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys beat them in under 15 minutes and we have extra time, would you guys be willing to beat them a second time?
Yes. Why not? I mean, we have Stan Smith. He's going to help us and carry us, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was my other question. Can you? I want to hear from each of you. Like, tell me where you're from and how you got into Vainglory.
I started playing 6-7 months ago, and I have a YouTube channel. And basically, I got a comment, and someone said, "Hey, you need to check out that game." And normally, well, yeah, sometimes you look it up, and I did. I saw the screenshots. Thought, no, that game is not looking like that in-game, and it did, and I tweeted at them, and since then it's just all a blast. Shoutcasting it, playing it a lot on Twitch, a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's hear from you.
Hola, I'm Alvaro from Madrid, and well, I started playing Vainglory 6 months ago, maybe, and then I like it. I started to uploading videos on YouTube, and after YouTube I moved to Twitch, and now I'm playing almost every day, so it's my main game right now. Yeah.
Awesome. And Stan Smith, I'm actually going to come over to you here if I can. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I played 5 months ago, and sorry, I can't speak English. Sorry. Today is so easy game. Easy.
All right, I think those were some of the strongest words we've had all day, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I like Stan Smith a lot. I'm just gonna let you know. I'll be spectating him the whole game. I think there might be some trolling coming out from him. All right, gentlemen, I wish you good luck. International team, you've traveled so far to beat these folks. Super Evil Megacorp, you haven't come from very far, but you've come a long way, and I really hope that maybe today there might be victory, but not really. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shoot it back over to the casters as we get kicked off with the International versus our devs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, you heard it there first, man. Stan Smith says, easy game, as Don John does, right? Easy game, easy life. And it looks like we're going to see a lot of trolling as well, man. A Celeste weapon power, that'll be really interesting. So let's see what we're going to have here, man. We got all the players pretty much ready to go. Party is set, and we are going to start it now. So the private match.
The sauce begins.
Let's see who's these teammates are going to pick here. So the choosing off is going down now. And it looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm wondering if Surprise Birthday is going to stay with his guns, and he just might.
Feel the blessing coming on right there.
We are going to see some really good gameplay here, man. Sorry, you ready to rock this, man?
Yeah.
Who do you think? What team you think is going to get blessed first?
I think the devs are going to get blessed.
You think they're going to get the full force?
Full force of the will.
All right,
no
so
ifs, ands, or buts,
Asar's
man.
rooting for the international team. I think the dev team is probably going to hold up. Let's see what's going to go down.
Not after talking to the international players, man.
Oh, you do have some quotes, right? You got any quotes?
We'll get into that when the game starts.
Oh yeah. All right. So let's see if they're gonna hold up to their guns, man. They talk a lot of smack. And 3, 2, 1. Loading screens up, and here it goes. Looks like we got a double Vox. Don John hitting Vox, as well as was it Zekent who pushed Vox as well? Give me a second here. And the game is loading here, guys. We are at the loading screen.
And the lesson starts.
Okay. So here it goes. Game is on. It's full in full effect. Playoff Beard rocking Kashka.
We got Stan Smith rocking the Taka Waka Flames.
Taka Waka. All right.
Oh,
Stan
man.
Smith. Alvaro
Alvaro.
pulling out support. Okay. So
There you
Alvaro's
go.
got Catherine here for support. And they also have the Catherine from Z-Kent. So here it goes. Surprise Birthday is in here. He is ready to go. And they are starting with the early game farm, starting in the middle with the big minion miner here. Minion there. There it goes.
So no action going on early game. Let's switch it over to the lane.
So
Let's see
lane
what's
we got
going
up
on.
here. 2 Voxes facing off here. Don John chooses to do a little bit of weapon power, where Surprise Birthday is going to go for stamina with the Book of Eulogies to just survive in lane a little longer against Don John. Yeah, there it goes. Z-Kent with that real sexy looking skin there. That's what we're talking about.
Blessing him with the sauce.
All right, so Z-Kent's up here probably trying to get some money, man. I don't know, chilling, you know. That contract's going to pay itself off
See,
as
he's
long as she's
hiding
around.
off.
And
Here
there
it
goes
comes.
the
He's
stun.
like, oh my
misses.
God, Don John.
was too quick.
You back off, boy.
Surprise Birthday.
He wants no problems.
Didn't quite jump on it. All right, and I think we got Stan Smith ready, just owning the jungle over here. He's going to cut off
He caught that
Z-Kent.
boy
They're
by
going to get this
himself.
boy.
Is he going to get the
Oh,
blessings?
man.
Oh. He's like, no, he wants no problems. He just backs away.
And the pings come down. Stan
Smart
Smith trying to
thing
get the
to do.
thief going down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, we got the triple.
Oh,
the
triple
whole
team
team's
coming
here.
in. Let's see if they're going to get the blessings right now. Apparently not. No.
Shit.
A lot
Stan
of
Smith
running.
is bringing it. Don John's coming up for support here. He's ready to rock.
Don John said he's going to wipe the floor
Playoff Beard
with
is
the
about to
devs.
go down.
So let's see if this boy can back his talking.
Playoff Beard looking like a true getting there. Don't worry about it, guys. All right, so Stan Smith looks like he's going to take over the jungle here just a little more, man. Going to steal some farm early on. Surprise Birthday, just rocking the lane, trying to get his money back up and see if
like
they're
a lot
going to
of
regroup
farming.
here. And they are trying to rotate down the bush here towards the enemy team here. Don John gets
Oh,
stunned. He
Lord,
comes
he
down.
got a first action. Don John look like he's about to
Oh,
get
man,
the sauce.
Playoff
Oh,
Beard
my
getting
God,
taken out,
playoff.
and he goes
Playoff
down.
goes down. God, goodness
Don John
gracious.
gets another.
He gets the sauce.
Surprise Birthday
oh
is
my
on the
God.
run
He
here.
gets the Kappa Wappa.
He might not make it away.
And the
GG.
red team gets assassinated.
Is that an early game ace? Almost. Couple
That's
seconds.
quoted. They said the devs
Yeah, there
are
goes
going down.
Stan Smith again,
All
going
the
for
way
the
live,
big minions in
baby.
the back. This is where all the XP lies. All the gold is back here. These are the most crucial minions you could probably steal from the enemy team. And he's going to score them. They're going to get out real quick.
And the disrespect is coming in early. They're just like, we're going to take your farm.
They just
We're
don't.
going to kill you.
know what's going on here. All right, so he's going to use the second ability, goes up in the box, trying to get out of there real quick, and here it goes.
By himself.
Stan
See
Smith's
if
going
it's
to make the
come
order
in.
to
Oh,
exit,
Lord
and
of mercy. Here it comes. And he backs off.
All right, so they don't quite lose it. Don John tries to rotate down. Doesn't quite get there. There's no team fight going down. They're just going to push back. Surprise Birthday still on lane up here, just doing his farm thing. And it looks like Don John's going to make it back up to the lane, try and get his money right.
That's right.
So it does look like the blue team is just barely leading, just a couple hundred gold. Not trailing too far behind. Surprise Birthday seems to be doing a good job. Just making that, making those last hits on these minions up here.
Back to the jungle, see if we got any action. So far, it's not been a lot of action, just a lot of farming. When the action starts, you'll feel it.
All right, so here it goes. Stan Smith's down here again. We might just engage again.
Lord.
He catches Z-Ken.
We have Z by himself.
Catches the second ability.
They
just
choose
backs
to hide,
off.
you know.
All right, and Z-Ken's back up on lane already. Scout Trap gives up his position. See what's going to happen here. Stan Smith's just ready to steal some more farm. And they do have what looks like mines protecting those minions, so they know when they're going to pop right back up. All right, and Don John's getting some pressure on the lane here, pushing him back just a tad bit. Stan Smith still just rocking in their jungle, and here it goes. He pops into the box.
Oh, looks like we have a little fight.
2
versus
3. Stan
oh,
Smith
Lord,
does
Stan
not
Smith
go
look
down,
like he's about to get the blessings. Oh, he
Stan
goes
Smith
down.
Gets it.
The dev gives him the sauce. He gets the kappa.
Gets the kappa. There he goes.
The kappa.
All right, Alvaro's going to get, oh no, he doesn't get stunned. They go for Don John.
And
Alvaro's
Z
just
look
barely
like
makes
he's
it out.
about to get the sauce also.
Z-Ken's running
He
low on
pulls
life
back.
here.
He runs away. He's like,
That contract, man. They're making their money back. 2.9 to 3.1K. Game's looking pretty fair right here. 3-1. Not too bad here. Oh, man. So if they just seen Alvaro in that bush, man, it's a good opportunity to just take him out here, and they did not quite catch him. He's going to be able to make it out just in time. He's going to go back up to start the farm again.
He's like,
make a little money here.
Those who run away, fight for another day, you know? So he's all about that runaway game, man. It's nothing wrong with that.
So we got Don John camping his shop up here. I mean, they said it was going to be an easy game. I don't know. I feel like by now we should see a blowout happening.
Oh, they said just wait. Just a little farming. Just
giving them a run for the money
up,
here,
you know?
boys.
And then the onslaught begins, you know? So,
and Don John's back on lane, making that money again. All right, here it goes. Z-Ken coming back up. These
the devs
little
are trying to push
gangs
the
they've been
lane.
trying to do haven't been quite successful. Let's see if they finally catch one here.
Oh,
no,
Lord.
Don John is already level
By
6.
himself.
He gets stunned out, and there it
he
goes.
gets
Don John does
sauteed.
get taken out.
Oh, Lord. No help from his teammate. I don't know if they were lost in the jungle.
Alvaro
Scratching
lost
behind.
into sauce, just walking
something went
circles,
wrong.
man. These guys don't know what's going on. Stan Smith's going to come up to take over lane here, make sure things are under control. We got Surprise Baby getting hit by a scout trap down there, so they're definitely position's been made. Z-Ken shopping out in the open like a true professional. He doesn't care. All right, so the scout traps are coming down real right here. A lot of scout traps from both teams, giving themselves that extra early game vision, trying to have control of the jungle, the shop, the minion mines.
So far, lots of farming. I wanted to see more action, you know? After all that smack talking, I was like, you know
look at that. They tried to initiate the gold mine and just backed out right there. So they didn't quite push through with that one.
So we're back in the lane. Looks like a lot of farming going on. We're going to see some action,
All right, so I think we see a little bit of rotation up here. Z-Ken gets caught.
So it's a 2v1.
All right, so
Let's
does he get
see
the
if he gets
stun?
any
The
help.
silence goes down. Don John down to about 40%
Just backs
life.
backs away to the turn. He's like, not today.
Z-Ken pushes back again as well. Alvaro's going to trap up the gold miner again. Looking for any possible traps there, and he finds one. Nice. So here we go. Stan Smith just gets caught out. Z-Ken stuns Stan Smith. Surprise Birthday lands a couple shots here. They're getting some really good damage here. And Alvaro's bubble just brings some real unwanted aggro from the gold miner there. So these guys are looking really good on health here. Z-Ken still like just about full percent, and there it goes. They're trying to just get those traps out. And the minion actually, the mine explodes, damages the minion a tad bit. Yep, Don John's
like
going home. All right, so he's going to go home and go shop it up. All right, so we got Don John making his reflex blocks purchase. Looks like he's probably trying to rush out a Sorrow Blade. Maybe both sides are. We got a Piercing Shoot, I think, on Surprise right here. All right, Catherine not quite building into the Crucible just yet, so no real team defenses yet.
Aftershock, though. Nice
Aftershock. All right, Aftershock on Koshkas from Playoff Beard. Nice. So Zcat is taking some damage here. He's gonna
have some action in
He's
the
gonna
lane.
bust the boots out. Moves up. All right.
A lot of retreating.
Don John playing it cool, taunting him with the little flashbacks. There he goes. Stan Smith goes in the box. Will he catch him? He does. Look at that damage coming from Stan Smith right there.
Trying
Tension
to hit
bow.
him with the kappa.
Tension bow right there. All right, so here it goes, man. Someone's about to get the full D right here. I think they're going to catch Playoff
Lord, I
Beard.
think Playoff is going to get
no,
blessed.
there
Oh,
it
my
goes,
goodness.
Stan
Here it
Smith.
comes. It's the full force of the
shit.
D.
He
And that's the
could
monster
not
D. He
stand
could
it.
not escape that. Oh, my Lord. He got blessed.
All right, Zcat's finally hit level 6. These dudes are running away. They're going to try and
like,
take the
this
gold miner.
mine is ours, man.
That is it. Zcat's coming in. He's
just
feeling
belongs to Al.
he's feeling pretty ballsy. Stan Smith goes down,
no.
and red team manages to
Alvaro
steal.
looks like he's about to go down also.
Man, Alvaro's gonna he might just go down. Yup. There it goes. Alvaro goes down.
That, man.
So
Don
red
John
team
just
turns it
retreat,
all
man.
around. Man, Don John.
The devs are fighting back this time.
The devs are showing them how it's done. This is their game. We all know they cheated just a little bit, probably bumped up their characters. It's all good though. It's just all right. All's fair. Professionals, you know. All right, Stan Smith's coming back down to farm. I think Surprise is gonna go for a little bit of shopping here. You know, they got the gold, man. They took the gold miner. They pushed them out. They got a couple kills here, so it's 4-4. They're up over 1,000 gold here. Looking pretty good. If they can hold the lead, we all know it's only gonna just tumble down from there. Let's see, man. You don't know? You don't know? You got no faith in the devs, eh?
After all the smack talking that Stan Smith was doing, bro, I think he's about to bless him, man.
I don't know, man. 1 and 2s.
He got some hidden stuff there, man. He's about to unleash it.
All right.
Are you ready for the sauce?
All right, Alvaro trying to find some traps there. He spots one. Zcan tries to stun him right over it.
it's a 2v1.
And
Come
there it
on.
goes.
There's the
Nice,
blessings.
nice.
Come on. Bless this guy.
Goes off. Stan Smith is goes in the box, dodges
Lot
the
of
mine.
hiding.
Very nice. All right, we got a little rotation from Surprise. Don John doing the same as well. They're trying to gather back up. Let's see. All right, just back to the traditional farming here. Surprise on lane, pretty much by himself here.
Will these guys capitalize?
Nope, they don't.
Back into the jungle.
All right, so Don John ends up zapping back home to make a couple purchases. Looks like he's got a Sorrow Blade. He's going with a little more weapon power. All right, so they're definitely ahead on builds here. Let's see if they get into another little action here. So they're popping all the traps there, man. Just wasting all that money there. Zcant just looking for as many traps as possible at this point. And there it goes. He just knows, man. Look at that. Put a trap there, found the enemy mine, and he just gets off another one.
So the action is back in the
All right,
lane.
Stan
Let's see if
Smith's
they
coming
can
back up.
capitalize.
They don't.
They retreat to the turret.
No fight just yet.
Lots of hiding.
All right, Stan Smith. They pretty sure Surprise seeing these dudes come down there. Let's go ahead and follow these guys, see what they're gonna get themselves into. They're definitely gonna go for some thiefing over here. They're gonna cash Playoff.
Oh
is
my
level
God.
10 now.
Playoff is caught by himself.
Pops the reflex
wisely.
just in time.
Wisely.
And there goes a
to the
good
turret.
stun from Surprise. He pops the boots. He's trying to escape.
Surprise
He's
is
gonna
about to go down.
Oh,
but-
just barely misses
Oh,
that
my
that
God.
ultimate there.
Who
Don
was
John's
that?
ass away.
Stan
Zcat's
Smith.
propped the boots. Oh,
down.
Minion Miner 2OP finishes the job up there. Surprise still holding down lane. He did not even go home.
Wow.
Stuck to his guns, man, and there he goes. He's gonna go home now. Alvaro's left alone to defend the lane. And that was a really good team fight for the red team again. The Dev Squad leading by 2K now.
Looks like the devs came
They're
out to play,
stealing
man.
some more. We might just need a camera angle on the devs, make sure no one took out the the shields they were playing on, man. It's a little crazy here. All right, so here it goes. They're back up from their little little naps over here and shit. They're back alive. Stan Smith waiting for his support here. And we do have Playoff Beard still stealing some farms. So Playoff is now level 11. He's definitely leading the brigade here on levels. Don John level 10. All right, so there it goes. Minion Mine still owned by the red team. They're just kind of watching it here. They don't know if they're going to make a move for it. There's a lot of mines everywhere. Yeah. Stan Smith goes in the box. He knows they're in there. Okay.
Getting closer to the 15-minute mark, man. That's when everything goes down.
There it goes. So if they don't capitalize on the gold mine, red team is, in fact, going to get a lot more pay and just increase this gap here. So there it goes. They catch Alvaro down by himself.
Look like he's about to get the blessings. He retreats to his friends. He's like, no, sir, you're not getting me on that one. No, no, no.
Pops the boots.
No blessings today.
There it goes.
Try again. Yes, sir. And they take the action back in the lane.
All right, so they're definitely going to get that payout there. Stan Smith back on lane. Don John. Alvaro gets hit again. And blue team is definitely they need something to work here, man. He's
Lot of
summer
farming,
work there.
man.
There
Just,
it goes.
just take the action. There you
Playoff
go.
Beard
Woo! And he
pounces
goes
onto
down.
Don John,
My
and holy
goodness.
shit, the stun there.
Alvaro and
Stan
Don
Smith.
John gets the sauce early. The devs are not playing. They're like, look here, man. You can talk all that
I
smack,
think they're just
but you
going to
gotta
push the
back it,
turret
baby.
here. They
You
are
got
pushing
to
the turret,
back it.
getting some really good damage in.
Stan
Man.
Smith got nothing to do but hide behind that turret for dear life, man. It's rough.
Poor little Stan Smith. Can't even call to his teammates for backup.
Because they're dead. R.I.P., baby.
Miscommunication
And down
here.
goes the first
Stan
turret.
Smith decides to go in for a little bit of enemy minions here. All right. Traps are giving up his location. It's definitely in a pretty rough spot here. He's going to zap home, yep. Seekant's coming back to check up on things, and Don John's going to go back to lane. They've already lost that turret, so map control is definitely going to the dev team here, man. Dev team showing these guys how it's done.
The devs are bringing out the magic today. Something I haven't seen with the devs for quite a while.
Oh no
Congrats
no no no!
to them.
Don't congrats the devs now, man.
Ah, man.
We got a true sellout.
There's no
on.
sellout, man. I'm just calling it like I see it, you know. I feel the blessings are coming on, so that's how we.
All right, man. So here it goes. Oh, I think they're gonna catch Surprise up here. Surprise pops the boots.
Surprise got the boots, man. He just rushes away like not today, man. I got the box speed.
They'll wait for it.
agility,
All
evasion,
right.
You know, doing his thing.
Dodges the box ult there. Nice. Zekan again, his favorite bush, just hugging it. favorite little bush right there.
That's his little bush right there.
All right, so what we got down here, man? Taka's going to shop again. He infuses. Very nice. Gets a little infusing going, I think. Oh, Zekan down here by himself. And
they don't
playoff.
capitalize. Oh my goodness. They take the action, the playoff, and surprise birthday. Which retreat?
Stun
Looks
coming
like
in from
Z is about to
Zekan.
get the
Oh,
blessing.
Stan
Oh
Smith
my God. Let's
hits
see
Wakashka's ultimate.
if he gets it. And Stan Smith goes down. Couldn't
Zekan's
finish the
down
job.
on life.
Oh my
Playoff
goodness.
Beard pouncing back in here.
Playoff is like, Alvaro, where you going? Where are you going,
Oh
sir?
man,
He
Surprise
gets the
is
blessings
killing it with the
also.
box here.
My goodness.
No weapon power
The
Celeste for these
blessings.
guys.
They're getting the cap.
Oh no, Zekan might just die here. Oh, barely.
He's like, no, sir.
Barely makes it out of there.
Too
he goes in for a
strong.
real gutsy try
Too
to
strong
stun.
to die. He's a survivor. He's like, look, I'm going back home. I'm going to take care of these guys.
And Playoff Beer stealing more farm. Level 12 for Playoff and Surprise Birthday. They're also going to take the minion mine here, so they are going to capitalize on...
Playoff is being greedy. He's like, I want everything. I want your farm. I want your gold mine. I want everything.
All right, Playoff is also going to go
Take your
home.
dignity.
Regen a little bit of... regen a little magic and whatnot. So where's Stan? Stan up here getting his farm on, trying to push back the lane here. They don't have jungle control. They need to get these minion mines back and just get their priorities straight here. 16K gold lead, 16K gold farmed on the red team compared to 9.9K on the blue squad. So they definitely need to get some stuff here, try and score some turrets or just get the minion mine, man. Get the farm going, something.
Looks like.
So there it goes. Zekan's
caught
right
by
there.
himself.
He was
Let's
shopping.
See if he gets caught. Oh,
nope,
my
he's going to push
goodness.
back up. He's going to push back up for his team.
Smart
The
hit.
silence comes down from Alvaro. Doesn't quite land too much damage there on Zekan, so he is now ultimateless. And Zekan's just pushing out on his own, getting some minion traps up there. Some mine traps, sorry.
Solid game of the mind right now.
All right, Don John back on lane.
Gotta be paying attention to the map.
And they are gonna YOLO the Kraken here, boys. And there it goes. They are fucking this Kraken up. One shot at a time. These dudes don't even know what's going on.
Oh my goodness, and
Don
they're
John's
caught. They're
finally
like,
got
oh
a
my
whiff of
God.
it. Nope.
Oh.
Zekan pushes them back there, and
Z
they
is
get
like-
the Kraken. Wow.
It's time to get blessed.
Now
Say
the real
blessings
question is,
for
will
real.
it be worth it?
Let's see.
If they manage
Don
to get a
John
turret
look
and
like
more.
he's getting the saw supplied to him
Oh,
right now.
Playoff Beer
Oh
gets pushed
Lord,
back
Playoff
out.
is being pushed back
Stan
also.
Smith turns back on Surprise Baby here. Don John doesn't quite make his shot there.
Oh, they're trying to double
And
team.
they are trying
They're
to
like,
get Surprise Birthday down here, and I think Don John's still up on lane right here. He's rotating back down. They're going to squeeze him in there. Oh!
Ooh, down goes Surprise.
Uh-oh. Wait a second. Blue team
Oh,
starting
Lord.
to lose this fight here. Stan Smith is by himself. Could
Oh,
he take on
Lord.
Zekan? He needs to change priority here. Goes back for the Kraken. Good move there. If you let the Kraken take all the turrets, you are just going to lose the game
You're
at this
shooting
point.
yourself
So
in the foot at that point.
he has to take one for the team here. And he doesn't quite let Zekan just zap off there.
Long time to reload.
So he could have possibly went for the ace, but instead he goes for the Kraken here. So there it goes, working that Kraken down. By himself, there's only so much he could do. Kraken about 60% life gone now. And we do have Don John back up here. Donjon's got a Bone Saw, Sorrow Blade, and a Flare, along with the Crucible. Looks like he's building into a Aegis. Kinetic Shield is something going down there. All right, and if I were Stan Smith at least, man, I'd get rid of the Tension Bow. It's already getting to that point, 18-minute mark, where Tension Bow's just going to slowly die off in late game damage, man. All right, so red team's going to stick together here. It's going to get back to farming. 5,000 gold lead.
So they were able to pick up one turret on that Kraken. Let's see if they can close out the deal right now.
Wasn't a terrible Kraken right there. Good trade out, gets a turret, gets a couple team kills there.
Still a lot of farming. Still farming. I'd rush him. I'd rush him right now, man. Just
all right, so pro words from Asar, the Lord himself. He's just going to rush. He's got his football helmet on. He's going head first. It's all right.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about it.
You catch him.
All right,
One
so
by
here it
one.
goes.
There you go.
Z-Cat.
There's Z slipping.
Z-Cat looks like he's
He
going to
needs the
listen to
blessing.
Asar. He's running his ass in there. He catches Donjon up north. Donjon zaps through the wall there. Silence comes down.
Oh, my goodness. There's a lot of blessings going on.
Oh, man. There goes Stan.
Oh, my God. Stan
Stan
look
gets
like
it.
he's
Oh,
about
the
to get the
silence
proper
might just
blessing.
save him.
Oh.
That silence
And he
might just
retreats
save
like a
him.
smart
Donjon hits
man.
the boots.
He know how
Smith
critical a
staying in
point
there.
of this game is. Oh, my goodness.
Down goes
Couldn't help
Stan.
him. Stan is like,
Donjon is just getting sandwiched in that little tri-bush right there.
Wow.
Oh, man. Gets him.
Looks like an
Alvaro.
ace.
The
Oh,
ace
my
from
good.
the dev squad.
The devs.
Oh, boy.
Came out with the A game today.
Playoff Beard.
Wow.
Jumping into that turret there. They're going to get that turret. This might just be game, boys. 20 minutes in, the professional versus the devs. This is unreal here. They're following these pretty pumped up minions here. 20 seconds down. I think we got the game, boys.
Oh, my
I think we
goodness.
got the game. There's no way.
They got enough, man. Just take out this turret.
There is
Like,
no way here. There it goes. Koshka.
Wow.
That damage is out of this world.
Unreal.
Look at that. Look at that, boys.
I think it was too much farming and not enough action, man. Just
Man.
stick it to the devs, man. Just get in there
Donjon
and bless them.
doesn't quite
All
make
this
it.
farming for
Oh,
what?
Stan Smith coming down.
my
It is
goodness.
game.
What's going on here?
So it looks like
Stan Smith trying to
professional
save his team, but it's not going to help. You're getting blessed
Got
with the
the
sauce.
full force there, boys. Really
like,
good game. Really, really, really good game.
Nothing could save you there, Stan. I thought you guys were about to bless the devs.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. It's not over
a
yet.
last little
Blue
light
team
of
is
hope.
fighting.
Oh, they're fighting,
Oh,
but I don't
shit,
think
the
it's good
silence
enough.
goes
Come
down.
on.
Nah,
You need
man.
to ace them up.
No, they're running away.
Ace them.
I think Stan Smith actually
All you
held
got
off
to
a bit.
do-
Uh-oh.
Give him the ace.
Wait a second. We're too soon, boys. Let's see. Those hits are bouncing right back at surprise. And there he goes. He's going to target Donjon again.
There you go.
The kite is real. Landing some shots
There
here.
you go.
Oh, shit. The block from the Crucible
The
catches him as well.
He's
Playoff
trying
is
to
going
run
to play
home.
it soon.
Playoff is like, not today.
All right, man.
You're not getting that ace.
40 seconds down for surprise. Z-Kent down for 25. No turret left at the home vein here. This thing is super low on life there. It's just...
It's super over. I don't know why you're trying to beat around the bush, man. It is super over. That's what we call that. That's GG. You understand that, monster? GJ. You understand?
Good job, good job.
That means...
All right, playoff coming, marching back up here. He's probably going to hold down the front turret. And Stan Smith's just trying to back these minions up on the lane, man. Hopefully, maybe score a turret. Who knows what they're going to do here.
Still farming. I think the farm part of this game is over. It's time to just get away from the farm and just get to the action. It's time to assassinate.
So
the
surprise
enemy team.
birthday goes with Breaking Point, Bonesaw, and what looks like a Serpent Mask, Shiver Steel. They got a lot of farm on their team, man. These builds are just starting to max out here.
Oh, the builds don't mean nothing. Don't capitalize, man. You can have all the greatest builds you want. It's time to end the red team right now.
All right, so this might be the big game changer here. This last team fight, it's gonna make it happen. So
you got one guy in the jungle
you got
farming by
surprise
himself.
sort of by himself. Z-Kent's up here. I think the blue team is just playing it safe here. They don't want to quite charge. They don't know Z-Kent's up there by himself, but he's got some support coming here. Actually, no. Koshka's just trying to sneak around the back while Z-Kent's just buying him some time here, really.
Playing it really smart.
Playing the bush, giving them that feeling of you don't really know where they are. They don't have no flares here. They're gonna push back to home. Slowly but surely. So the pressure is on. The pressure is on. They don't really know where everyone is. All right, so the ping goes down to meet in the middle. What's going to happen here? Playoff Beard just kind of taunting them on top. Z-Ken sort of taunting as well, trying to get a little couple hits in.
And it looks like the action is about to go down. This is going to be the final finale right here. Here it goes.
And the silence was missed from Z-Ken. The stun tries to come in, doesn't quite land it.
And he's just
Playoff
going
Beard
after the vein. And
dives
that's
the vein,
it.
and here it
Oh,
goes.
Lord of his mercy. Vein is shattered.
MVP
and that, my friends,
playoff.
is a blessing. The saute was real. The blessings couldn't be stopped.
Man, oh man. So let's check out these check out what happened here. We have Don John 6-5-3, Alvaro 2-5-7, Stan Smith 2-6-5.
Well, the top contenders needed to perform a little bit more.
Those are the professional international teams
Those were the
representing
big shit
different places around the world, from Japan to Germany. But you know what? All-star teams didn't quite make it against the Dev Squad. Dev Squad just shows how much they know this game right here.
I said, you know what? All the shit talking in the world's not gonna save you.
Look at that farm from
You're gonna
Surprise
get
right
blessed.
there. 154 minions. These are the quick look at the builds here, guys. Take a screenshot. The Dev Squad obviously did it right. They know the new update. They know the new patch. This might be the way to just roll these heroes out right here, man. Great job from the dev team. Great job from the international team. It was a entertaining game, boys.
And he blessed them, you know. So.
All right, so I think after this, we're gonna have Marcus doing a little interview. Might just chat it up with some of the players. You'll get to hear firsthand how they felt about things. But yeah, man, what do you think, Sar?
I think they put their feet in their mouth.
It looks like your team you was rooting for, man, just got owned, bro.
Hey, when they talk so much good smack, man, you just gotta go with it, man. I kind of felt it, man. But after watching the game, I kind of put my head down, like, man, it's rough.
There it goes,
It's really
man.
bad.
And even look, Koshka with the infusion, it went really all out here.
I think it was a lot of farming. All right, so
boys,
we'll take it over to Marcus. He's gonna be talking to the players right now.
And again, thank you guys for hanging out. Monster D-Face right here.
Lord of Sar.
Sar. And there it goes. Marcus, take over, guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it happened. It happened. The devs won. Oh, my God. Oh. All right. Normally, I go the winner first, but there was a lot of pressure on the international team. I know that you guys hadn't had a chance to play together. These guys play all the time together. So do you feel like if this was a best of 3 that it would have been no problem?
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I'm still stick to it. They just, yeah. I agree on that, actually.
Are there any compliments you would like to give the other team?
Oh, I liked how Seekin played. Really, really good. A really good Catherine. Really.
You guys are awesome regardless. I have to go over here to the winning team, and you did it. I mean, you still have a job, which is good, right? Thank goodness, because I heard the whispers behind, if they don't win this match, it's going to be big trouble. What do you guys think about the outcome?
I was definitely a little bit worried. Like, we started the game off pretty rough, 0-3, but I was a little bit worried. My job was on the line. I did hear, like, Christian whispering over there. He was saying, like, if they don't pull through with this, you know.
I saw that too.
I just want to apologize to the international community for the finish of that match. But Koshka will be Koshka.
I did come out because I thought that you guys were going to finish it, and then I heard, nope, let's go home and save our progress. So I was like, all right, we got a couple more minutes. Congratulations, though. You did do it. I know, though, you still have a losing record. You got to start somewhere, right? Right. Congratulations to our devs, everyone out there. Big round of applause. And a big shout out to our international community. You guys are awesome. And yeah, thanks for playing, you guys. So unfortunately, in tradition with Super Evil Megacorp, if you guys would have won, then we would have brought up Bo and Christian with you guys. But since the devs did win, we're going to bring the whole team up here. So thanks again, you guys. You guys can go ahead and march off. We're going to bring on Christian and Bo as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't the end of the 24-hour launch stream event because we've got 22 hours remaining. And coming up next, we've got, oh, there it is, the celebrations. Yes, yes. Yeah.
First victory out of 6.
We've got DZ Live coming up in just a moment, but I thought this would be an appropriate time now that time really flies, too. It seemed like we were here just 5 minutes ago. But how do you guys feel about the games that you saw today and how everything went?
Some awesome matches. I'm glad Zekin still has a job. I mean, I kind of like the guy. I don't know, Bo, what do you think?
Yeah, I know. We'll keep him around. We'll keep him around for a little bit longer. As long as he continues to perform on stream, that's really where it matters.
So this was a great event. I have to say I got a chance to hang out with the community in between the matches and talk to either the guest casters and whatever. And even all the players came up here and said, it's really awesome. I'm glad to be a part of this community because they embrace each other. They help each other improve. Obviously, they make great content. And you guys are, a big part of feeding that community. So I would say congratulations. I thought today was awesome. But I want to hear from you. How'd you think things went today?
I
things went fantastic. Like, it was really exciting watching those matches, shoutcasting them, playing in them. Even though like some of the matches were kind of one-sided sometimes. Like snowballs went a little bit crazy sometimes. Like first game, that was rough. Vixen cleaned house. Callendale, holy cow. Callendale, Friday's A game.
Played awesome. All right, well, we have to wrap here. Any final words, Bo, from you?
Really just, it's been incredible to be here. It's been so much fun to hang out with the community, to watch some of these matches, hear them shoutcasted, see the game played the way that it's really meant to be experienced. But again, it is really just the beginning. So to sort of everyone out there in Twitch land, like, thank you for being part of this. This is just the beginning. Come join us, join the community, stream, watch streams, donate, help the community grow. We're really excited to be here, and thank you for being a part of this.
Awesome. I could not say it any better. That was fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire team here at Super Evil Megacorp, all of the awesome broadcasters and community members and players of Vainglory, it's been amazing to have you guys. And guess what? We've got 22 hours left. So DZ Online is going to be taking it next. But first, the #1 submission for why I love to play Vainglory, the community submission video. Here it is. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the 24-hour stream.
To survive sub-zero temperatures, one must stay active.
Unleash the Kraken. You are unbeatable and return to destroy. Aced. Immense gold payout collected.
In a world of ice, I play Vainglory to stay alive.
What are you playing for?